All right, there we go. Yeah. So here we go. We're gonna unbox some. Well, I'm gonna unbox some things, and let's just hope. Let's just hope Steve's unlucky streak has not rubbed off on the group because I
Yeah.
don't want to have that problem.
Yeah, it rubbed off on me the other night, but I got it fixed. So, so it wasn't too bad.
Were you surprised though, Thor? Because I know Iron Studios has that problem, right? Like,
I mean, a little bit because Vader came okay, and that one was after Vader. So
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, you don't really hear much about that piece anyway. So so it wasn't really, but it was a clean break, so it was cool.
Well, yeah. Steve has had some issues with his with his current purchases of statues, so we're hoping that doesn't rub off on us. And Steve, is there any? Have you decided to adjust how you buy things now at all because of all this?
Yes, I have. I'm so fucking done with this shit.
So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
I am, as I said, I am going to issue the checklist before I buy anything from anybody. As I was telling Thor the other day, I'm going to ask, I ask people, are there any condition issues?
Yeah.
And I think I'm going to say, are there any scratches, dings, dents, scuffs, marks, shit on the statue, or anything like that? Right?
Yeah, whatever.
And hopefully we'll. If people don't know the latest, I got my Mythos Vader yesterday, 2 days ago, and it was broken in multiple places and repaired, and it was just and he's like, oh, I bought it from somebody else. I didn't know there was any problem. I mean, there's glue on his arm, so friggin' obvious. So anyway, I'm not here to bitch about my statues.
No, but that's a freaking shame though, man. Like, you've had that issue already. Yeah. And for that to keep happening, that sucks, dude.
But the good news is I got direct from Sideshow today. I got Jabba, and
it looked great too.
Nice.
He's in fantastic condition.
Those pictures looked awesome. You have to did you post those up in the group yet?
No, I guess I can go ahead and
you have to put some pictures up in the group.
Yeah, just great. Very happy with the way that looks.
Yeah. So. And Thor, thanks for joining us as always.
No, wouldn't miss it, man. It's always love hanging out with you guys.
Yeah, it's a good time, man. So, and Steve, I think, just so you know, I think Thor's going to join us for Return of the Jedi.
I will.
Oh, Shelter in Space?
Yeah, Shelter in Space. That's going to be freaking fun. I think PJ's hopping on as well, so that'll be a good time, man. That'll be fun. So,
yeah, that sounds good.
So yeah, we got some people in the chat. We got Eddie Mendez, Danny Lee, Nathan Alker. Facebook user. I'm guessing I don't know who that is.
Yeah, they have to authorize Facebook to so that they can see their name. That's all you gotta do, and then you can see what their name is.
Yeah, it's like right at the top when you connect. It's right up there at the top that says, "Please share with, please give StreamYard permission to share your name, because otherwise we don't know who you are."
Yeah, you guys up in DCX too, or no?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I think we're all over.
Beautiful. I love it. Syndicated, baby.
Syndicated everywhere.
Yeah, I love it.
It's so tonight's gonna be interesting. I have not opened this or seen anything. It's literally never been opened. So
it's brand new.
Yes, which he's never opened it, so it could be a bad thing. That could be a bad thing. We'll see.
Nah, you'll be fine.
I can't believe how quickly you were able to get that because usually the last one took you forever.
Hour and 15 minutes away. Like I could have driven up to get it, but
but last time he gave you all these excuses that you had to go into the
not the same guy.
Different guy.
Yeah.
Different guy. So I'm trying to get from that guy. I'm trying to get that one for Chris B. I'm trying to. We'll see what happens.
Is that the one that Chris was alluding to today?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I don't know why he was being so cagey about the whole thing.
I'm not sure either, but he he's. I think the other night he sent me something. It was pretty late for him, especially, and he was like, "I like all caps. I have to get Shaak Ti," and so I was like, "Yeah," and so I was like, "Okay, well, let me." I sent him a picture of Shaak Ti from the Raymond guy that sent me a picture of it, and I don't personally want to deal with him anymore. I just can't handle it. But I can do it I'll do it for Chris.
What's up, Tim?
We'll see. What's up, Tim?
Hey guys, sorry.
Hey.
No, thanks for joining us, man.
Oh, my pleasure, man. What's up, Thor?
What's up, my brother?
Steve, man, how are you?
Hey, good. Hey, Tim. I was watching Mr. X's channel today, and he got this custom Rogue and Sentinel head, where Rogue is tearing the head off the Sentinel.
Yeah,
and I thought about you, man. This thing was freaking insane.
Yeah.
Did you see the head sculpt on that thing, though, Steve?
Yeah.
Okay. The head sculpt was rough,
shit.
dude.
Yeah. But I mean, for that, you probably can pick your favorite. And send it off to somebody that paints it up nice, right?
Of course.
But I was thinking about you the whole time, wondering if you ever considered getting that thing.
Dude, that thing's huge.
So I would love to get those ones. There's a whole line of them, and they're crazy. And I would love to get them.
It's a whole custom line.
Yeah. So they're all sculpted by Franco, and the portraits aren't bad. I think the paint is bad. Yeah, because if you look at they have like a gray render of the portrait. They look amazing.
Yeah.
So paint makes or breaks a statue, man. That's the facts. For sure. Yeah. Anything, any figure, statue, anything. But yeah, I wish, man, that would be great.
Yeah, I saw the review. It looked cool. I cannot get away from those. Those head sculpts were just the worst. But
allow me the opportunity to change your mind. I'll send you the gray renders just so you can see them.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I don't think we're disputing that the sculpt itself was great, but the paint was just like,
oh my gosh,
for sure. Well, yeah. I mean, it's it's unfortunate that you've got to compare that to the sideshow portrait, because that's
true.
That's the mark now.
True.
If you're not hitting that portrait, see you later.
Are there any custom makers that really do well with portraits? Like I know Thor, the Kylo head looks pretty good. Are there any people that specifically are really good with portraits?
I think
it's got to be the hardest thing, right?
Yeah, I think that's definitely up there. But there's guys like Franco's a Wolverine guy. His Wolverine portraits are among the best that have ever been made.
Yeah. Okay.
I think
it's just human face, like normal human faces that are hard, or women.
I think it's women, man. It's women. Yeah. It's really hard to make a beautiful face,
Right.
But there are people who smoke them, man. There's sculptors out there who are killer, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. I've seen some customs that are actually absolutely amazing. I just didn't know if it's harder for one reason or another. But all right, I'm gonna break into this thing.
Yeah, 1 second, Matt. Just real quick. Pull up the pic I just posted to the Rogue 16 group of the Jabba and
oh yeah, okay, hold on.
And Boba Fett. I want to brag a little bit first before we dive into yours and get jealous about a brand spanking new statue.
That's okay, I understand. Let me pull that up.
no trip to Compton. Where was the statue, Matt?
No, it was in Corona, so it wasn't too far away from me.
Where is Corona relative to?
Corona's actually pretty much straight east from Compton. So it's like I could have driven up pretty much. It's pretty much the same distance. I tried to get the guy to do it, but he didn't want to have anything with it. So it's not a big deal.
Oh,
all right, there you go, dude.
Yeah, nice.
So there's
fantastic.
I mean, the way it worked out, I got that Dave Dorman print like about a month ago, and it has like this green mat around it, and I was like, the green mat, I don't know. But suddenly today, I kind of put all three of them together, and I was blown freaking away by how great.
Yeah, dude, that works great.
Look at that, really nice. Freaking that picture doesn't do justice to how big he is.
He looks a lot better than the first one. It looks way better than the first one.
Yeah, he looks really good.
The first one was like, I sold it, man.
Right.
Yeah. Those pillows and stuff look really cool too.
It's funny. I got my first 6 scale pillows today.
They did a good job.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked with the way they came out. The problem with this statue is just the gaps on the switch outs are a little bit obvious. Especially around the mouth and the eyes and all that. But But other than that, I think I said earlier today it's like an A- overall. I think
I got you.
good.
I got you.
Yeah. But anyway,
no, they did a good job. They did a good job on the paint and everything too. I've seen.
Oh yeah, right.
How heavy is it?
It's not terrible. Maybe 15 pounds, I think, is probably what it is. So it's not made out of. I don't know what it's made out of, but it's not. I don't think it's polystone. It's like maybe it's resin or something. I don't know, but
that's killer.
Not
dude.
polystone.
It looks really good with the Mythos Boba by it.
Is it smooth?
Smooth where you mean? Oh, you mean like the whole thing
feels.
The whole thing is textured all over him. I mean, the base is textured, the body's textured, so it's hard to say. It's either it feels plasticky, and it sounds plasticky.
Yeah, like a polyurethane resin. Then.
Okay, yeah. So probably resin.
That's probably it.
Yeah. So cool.
Yeah, that's killer, man. That's a huge. How long is that thing? Is that? I can't. That thing's huge.
Well, the case that it's on is there's two cases that you can see there. The case he's on is 32 inches wide, so he's just about 32 inches wide.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, he's pretty.
Are you gonna put the Rancor next to him?
That's the thing. I think the Rancor might block out the whole print. I don't know, but
that would be awesome. Though.
He's either going to be next to him or below him.
So, Steve, you know what you got to do, man. You know, since you're a Hot Toys guy, you got to get you like Bib Fortuna and all the guys that put around Jawas.
Yeah,
like, man, that'd be killer, bro.
Well, I have the Leia and I have Boosh. I have the Han Carbonite. Yeah. I have the Jedi Luke. I have C-3PO. I could put them all around them. Yeah.
Yes, sir. 100%. Yeah, that'd be killer.
Yeah.
At least for a photo.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Kumar says, "Hi, all you evil people. This is the guy that posted the video in the group that we've transitioned. You transitioned him into statues.
Yes,
it's happening. It's happening.
Yeah, but at least you're getting them cheap, Kumar. I mean, you've got
exactly
a great place to buy them from.
Yeah, exactly. He got Mythos Vader for really cheap. It's like $600 or $700, something like that.
Impressive.
Most all
impressive. Right. You gotta go big screen, Matt.
Yep.
Well, wait till I get through the box a minute.
Oh, okay, no
I'm
problem.
gonna look like a freaking idiot opening this box.
Oh no, it's all good. You're a professional by now, sir.
Matt, I enjoyed you on the show last night, man.
Oh, thanks, dude.
The whole crew did, man. The whole
I had a good
time.
time. I had a good time.
Yeah,
it was fun.
Sure.
I didn't know. Listen, I'll talk to anybody. I'm happy to talk to anybody about this stuff because I love it, but I didn't know how much I could actually talk on that show. Like, I didn't want to it's your guys' show. And it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
No, you're a great fit, man. Don't worry about that.
Well, it's nice talking with people that you can ask questions with. Like, I honestly, we talked for like almost an hour after, I think after the show was over. Just behind the scenes or whatever. And I was so interested in, because Barb lives out in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wondering like how the humidity works out there with all her pieces and stuff like that. And that was really interesting. She was talking about like running the AC like 24 hours a day just to make sure. Crazy, because otherwise they get built up on their like water on their like statues and stuff.
Oh, wow. Sydney Dean Martin says, "What a handsome group of guys." Sydney, is this coming in low res or something? Because this can't be HD.
I love that.
Turn it upside down, Matt. Let the gravity do the work, bro. There you go. Damn, he got fresh, bro. Unopened,
never opened.
Untouched by.
Is that plastic taped, Matt? Is it taped closed or is it loose? Is it really unopened? Let's see.
It's taped.
It's taped.
It's taped.
All right.
Yeah.
You're about to bear witness to the handwork of Mark Newman, my friend.
Let's see. Let's go on, Matt.
There is no escape.
I'm trying to think of how many Mark Newman statues I have. I probably have like 15 Mark Newman statues.
This piece is, like I said, I still maintain this is better than Talon.
Having had Talon for one day, I do think that this is better than Talon.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah.
It's just the base, the lightsaber, man.
Hey, did they make this off of
Yeah, the game.
the game? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the scene by the when she dueled Star Killer, right by the Sarlacc.
Yeah. Okay. That's
Yeah.
him. That's him.
So the tentacles are from the Sarlacc.
Thor, did she battle Grievous?
It was cut out of the movie. No, okay. If do you remember on Cartoon Network when they had like that mini short?
Yeah,
she fought him on there.
Azakovsky or something like that.
Yeah, she fought him on that.
Did she beat him? Because I saw a print of her carrying the head of Grievous.
Oh, I have that. I had that right behind my Shaak Ti.
Where's that from?
It's just like a Mythos kind of thing.
Okay.
No, she didn't beat. She lived because Mace Windu showed up, and otherwise she'd have been toast. But she didn't. And then they actually cut a scene out of Revenge of the Sith where they showed Grievous killing her in front of Anakin and Obi-Wan, but they cut it out of the movie. So
it's a small box compared to all the other ones I've opened with
I think I can't remember. I think she's one piece. I think maybe.
Like you mean her body or
her
like
body and yeah, because her hands fit on. I don't think her arms fit on. Her arms are all part of the body. See, the head might go on. I can't remember. I remember she's pretty much whole.
Okay,
if I can remember. So, but yeah. So now they're saying in canon, she was in the Jedi Temple when Anakin showed up. So they're saying he killed her. Because they cut all that shit out of the movie, and she didn't even put up a fight. She was like meditating. He just went in there and struck her down and kept it moving. So that's the current canon.
I love that he keeps getting piece after piece.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. So there is news today that.
You got another one?
No. That a Qui-Gon Jinn and a Mace Windu will be constructed.
That was cool.
Oh yes,
that's from but that's exciting.
Oh yes,
I'm excited for that. So
when I saw that, I said, "Oh yes, my."
Well, is that a whole Jedi line he's doing?
Yes.
Oh man.
You're in trouble, my friend.
I know.
I've
been telling you there's nothing out there.
Yeah. So guys, help me understand that a little bit. What is you see these guys with these groups that they're all over the place. They have websites and all this. When do you know that you're okay to say their name on air, and when do you know you're not?
Never. You never really want to say it because they're not supposed to be making this stuff. That's why usually the ESs are so low. So they kind of try to stay under the radar, but like they make the groups and stuff for the people that want to buy. So it's like
even if they have a website where they're advertising and all that, you don't say anything.
You never want to be the one to put the word out. If they find a website, that's on them, but you ain't had nothing to do with it.
Roger that. All right.
Yeah, I think the whole thing is, obviously this stuff is licensed and, we're
yeah, fair enough. Because nobody says there, hey, don't tell anybody. So that helps. That's helpful.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. How are we supposed to know this shit?
No, that's totally. You are allowed to like name the sculptor and stuff like that because the sculptor's really not doing anything wrong.
Yeah, this is definitely fresh.
What?
Good.
Does it still smell?
Yeah, it's
nice.
it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's got an interesting base, at least with the bones and all that. That's nice.
It's really cool. It's got the like whatever thing on it. This is 842.
Oh, the light up in there, little battery pack.
Yeah.
It also has a
when it's a woman that's fresh.
Yeah, so that's right. It plugs. So she plugs in right there.
Does it have a plug in the rear of the base?
It does, yeah. And it should be a plug jack back there.
Look at this.
Nice turntable.
Look at this, guys.
Sim says smell it.
Well, actually, it's funny you say that because I got the when I got the Jabba today, the smell from all that styrofoam and packaging was overpowering. I actually got a headache from it.
Well, it is Jabba after all, my friend. I mean, you can imagine.
I almost didn't come on tonight because I was feeling so shitty after smelling that for so long.
What?
So,
yeah. Is that bad?
I had a headache, almost like a sinus headache afterwards. It was so bad.
You must adapt to the statue smell.
This is cool, dude.
Yes, let me see. The large one. Ooh, let me see.
Yeah, they don't have any instructions.
The large one, I think, goes in the middle hole, I believe.
That's what she said.
Yeah. The medium one goes all the way over to the right, and then the small one goes to the left. That's what I'm looking at mine now. There you go. Yeah, I love that bass, man. I love that bass. That's a great piece, bro. That's just Chris, wherever you are, man. We gotta find you one.
Yeah, we gotta get him one for sure.
Yeah, that's a killer piece.
Who's Chris? Chris is another one of the 1/6 guys.
Yeah, Chris B. I want to have him on too. You too, Steve. Whenever you guys are off one week, you guys come through, bro.
Right.
But Chris B. smooth, man. I like Chris. That's a smooth dude, bro.
He's got a lot of that guy's got a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does.
All right. There we go.
He's got a few statues too. He got Grievous and Iron Studios, and
he does. He claims he's not going to collect any more statues, but I don't.
Really?
He's getting. You just said he was getting another one.
He's getting the. He wants to get this one, and he wants to get the Rancor. That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
yeah, he's getting this one. He's getting the Rancor. What? That's a bunch of bull.
And he wants Darth Bane too.
Yeah.
So he.
Did you see the wall that he posted? The picture that he sent to us of an entire wall opening up.
He sounded more like James. Bro, if there was a genie, that's one of the wishes I would ask for.
Sure. I told you the other day when I read your texts.
Yeah, you hear James Earl.
No, I hear your voice and your cadence. It's hysterical. It really is.
I mean, I can literally give you every Vader speech there's ever been. So I mean, you know.
Any trick to getting her out? She's kind of like really in there.
There's so many ways I can deal with that, but I can't.
I would go by the thighs.
Ah, yes, good advice.
Just grab her by the thighs and pull.
Yeah. Danny Lee says caress her. Yes.
Yeah, if you caress her first, she might loosen up.
Oh yeah, I knew she was one piece. There you go. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Look at that.
Eat your heart out, Ahsoka.
That's crazy.
Eat your heart out. You don't want none of that, sweetie.
Okay.
It might be a little bit tricky because that plug is in there.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, my whatever that front kind of loincloth, the thing that's holding around her waist had a little nick in it. That was about it on mine. But other than that, I actually even toyed with the thought of taking those off, but I was like, nah.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen some people take the loincloth.
Yeah, some people have taken them off, but I just left it on. I mean, I'm not that much of a freak, so like it. So.
Steve, did you keep yours on?
The loincloth? Yeah.
I figured if anybody,
whatever,
was gonna take that off.
Oh,
it's got wires in it. You can pose the loincloth. That's nice.
Of course. Now comes dessert, the saber and Starkiller saber.
There you go. Little something for the fellas.
Very good.
Oh yes. Tim, he is one of us, my friend.
Oh, yes.
Hey, Matt, Jason says that the custom Shaak Ti that I found on eBay would have been better.
Oh, I know. That's such a bummer. Yeah. You know, he just wouldn't bargain with me, so I had to go with the real one. It's too bad.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
Dude, that thing, I by the way, Steve, I forgot to tell you, every time I kept search for this thing, that thing would come up over and over and over and over again. I saw that thing so much.
I gotta check. You guys, that there's this guy that made these custom figures on eBay. He kept showing up when searching for Shaak Ti, and they're atrocious.
Oh, that one. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that one. With the fur coat and all that shit.
Yes. Oh, there it is, still there. If you do a search on custom Shaak Ti on eBay, you will see about the fifth one down. You will see exactly what I mean.
Is it nice at least, or it's
no?
It's atrocious, man. It's atrocious, bro.
I gotta share my screen just for a second, just so you can see this.
How can you leave such beauty for such atrocity?
I mean, I want to be educated.
Yeah, there you go.
I have not seen this filth.
It's very filthy, bro. I mean,
damn,
filthy.
dude.
Yes, very filthy.
So this is the
regular.
Yeah. And so the EX has the lightsaber. Yeah.
Lightsaber. Oh yes.
Well, that's her other arm.
Yeah, that's it. That's the he got the EX though. The EX has Starkiller's lightsaber, like as if she won the duel, which she didn't do in the video game. Yeah. And for me, that was a must. You know, I just thought it was.
Nice.
Yeah. I've often toyed with the idea of sending that to the guy and having him put a red lightsaber into that hand.
Why not?
This is the way.
That's not a magnet. That's a key.
It's a pin, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it was a magnet.
Now you must illuminate her, and your journey will be complete.
What'd you do, Thor, with this this belt? Is there any
I kind of moved it to the side a little bit, just kind of looked like as if, because she's not gonna stay completely neat during this duel. But I mean, yeah, I didn't mess the back skirt. I kind of moved on her hip so that the cakes would be exposed a little bit, But she's facing backwards, so who gives a shit? To me, it just looked a little bit more sleek to have like the skirt kind of like covering the side with the lightsaber. I moved it to that direction.
Okay, it's pretty. She got like mud on her feet, and
yes,
all the wrappings and stuff look really good too.
That's one of the out of all this Star Wars line, man. That's one of that's top 3 for me.
Dude, the face is crazy, dude.
I swear to God, doesn't it remind you? I told this when we did the unbox. Doesn't it kind of remind you of an XM piece? It just like it looked like that Luke. You know what I mean? It just feels like that.
Yeah.
But it's really killer. Yeah, look at this shit.
It's really close. I mean, they got real close.
What do you think of this, guys?
How much is that, Steve?
Okay, let me take a look. 250.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Dude, it is
robbery.
Bow-legged and everything.
Dude, it is so much better than the shit you have. Look at that. Look at that.
Fishnet.
I'm not going to go much further because there is one of her derobed that they do show on
as there should be before you buy something. You should make sure.
I'm happy I know what you're talking about, but
Let's go back to Matt.
All right, let me light her up.
Yes, bro. This to me still the best lightsaber in the game. Out of every Star Wars piece I've seen, is the best one. It's really? Bright. It's bright. I was
going to say the new Maul.
No, I mean far as brightness goes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I know that new Maul has that effect that I think.
Oh yeah. As far as that, but this one is just it's bright, man. It actually looks like a real lightsaber. And this was before all this advanced shit came out. I wonder what year this probably had to be, like 2012 or something like that. Yeah. There you go. That should look real, bro.
Damn.
That shit looks real. Yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
Gaze upon it.
Wow.
Yes.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
Pretty good.
Not
So
bad.
now that you see her, do you need to cover her up because of your daughters?
No, I talked to my wife about it. This is one of the only pieces I actually asked her about.
Right.
All the other stuff, I'm just like, I'm buying this. I don't care. But this one, I was like, I actually have to ask her. Like, I can't just get this and be like, look, like, look at this. This is cool, right? And
we have the thumbs up.
Yeah, and she's alien enough that I don't think it bothered her at all. You know, like it was like whatever. But now, so Steve, you've compared, like, if you saw an older Ahsoka in this type of attire, that would piss you off. But not her.
Maybe it's because we grew up, we watched Ahsoka grow up. Maybe that's why I consider it like wrong. But Ahsoka has never been like that in any of the shows, right?
Right.
And so it just seems wrong to me to do a sexy Ahsoka. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. No, you know, and fine, go ahead and do it, but there's no way I'm getting it. Like when that one custom place opened up another PO for Ahsoka the other day. It's like, no, I'm not interested.
That one. But so she's never looked like that, even in Rebels.
No.
Okay.
No.
To me, that's in that Vader dude. To me, that's. I mean, I guess what is Ryan was saying her belly wasn't out, you know, but the outfit was similar. But it don't matter now because he didn't close the PO anyway, so can't nobody get it anymore anyway. So,
Tim, what's the best kind of light up stuff that like Marvel or X-Men stuff have? Like, what do they got going on? Because I mean, lightsabers are the shit in Star Wars, right? But what do you guys got going on? Usually,
for X-Men stuff, it's Sentinel stuff.
Like Sentinel eyes or whatever.
Yeah, like the Sentinel maquette, the whole thing lights up. The hands, the chest. I have a Sentinel diorama, that Colossus decapitated one, and that one actually flickers.
Oh, okay.
Like the internal wiring, and there's like a hand on the ground. The hand pulses, and it's all random too. It doesn't follow the same thing. It's like it's really cool.
Well, and the Hulkbuster has light ups, right? The Hulkbuster does a bunch of like.
I can't remember.
Doesn't that one the eyes? Yeah, the XM one.
I don't think it does.
I don't think so either. No,
I think the eyes lit up.
No, I don't think it does. A lot of Iron Man pieces. I don't think that one. Sometimes with the X-Men stuff, you get a Cyclops where his visor lights up, like the new one that's coming out. Yeah, see, that one lights up. And
Tim, are you gonna get the new Cyclops?
I have a custom Cyclops coming.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I have like a particular vision for what I'm getting, and I like museum pose stuff. So this one is he's a little bit too actiony, even though it's still like a museum pose, but
so you don't like the crazy so the Colossus that Slideshow just came out with, that you like that kind of look where it's just like very simple.
Bingo. That's like all me. That doesn't mean I don't collect action stuff. Like I still have a couple of action pieces, but the more simple the pieces, the more I like it. I tend to, when everything is played out in the statue, I tend to be like uninterested in it because I'm like, all right, well, that's all it is this one moment, and I'm uninterested. When nothing's happening, I'm like, oh man, what the possibilities of what was before this or after this or about to happen. Right. I'm more drawn to that,
Interesting.
So it's a weird thing.
Are some people just like straight action people? They want all action poses.
Rodney is. Rodney.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
He likes
and that's the most beautiful thing. There's no right way,
Sure.
just because he does it this way, I do it this way. It's like you know, the only right way is the way that you find for yourself. And that's the best. Once you find that pocket, you're like, man, I know exactly what I want to do. I know what my collection is going to look like.
Right.
Then you save yourself a lot of trouble.
I would say though that being a Star Wars collector, I feel like, I mean, Thor, you can let me know if you think this is true or not, but like, there's no, again, we've said there's not a whole lot out there. Right. So like I could care less about how they, some of these, like, I want some Jedi. Like I almost don't care how you pose them. Like, they want to look good, but like, I just want some Jedi, you know, like you guys have a lot of choices to kind of choose from, with different characters. So I can see
it hasn't always been like that.
No. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
There's a dry spell for a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. When you have no choices, you'll take what you can get.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm totally with you. Yeah.
At what point, Tim, at what point did you guys not have anything? Like where did everything start coming in? Like
it was kind of around the time that Disney started really messing with the comics, and Cyclops kills Xavier, Iceman's been gay this whole time. They were like really fucking around with like the stories.
Yeah.
And I think at that same time, they were really choking that license out and not allowing anybody to make anything, because they thought, if we are pumping the media on our end and then Fox is making the movies, the popularity of the characters will still stay up. So if we choke it out as much as we can, no book bags, no t-shirts, no nothing, we'll force Fox to fold. And they fucking did. and then they got them back. So as soon as they got them back, it was like they went, okay, yeah, let's wrap up the Avengers, because Ant-Man, let's wrap them up. Let's get the X-Men going, because this will be the future for the next 15 years.
Oh, people love X-Men. Are you kidding me? It's crazy. Do you think Fantastic Four is going to do well? Do people like collecting Fantastic Four stuff? I mean,
Fantastic Four has also suffered from that same thing that the X-Men.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, because there's like not much out there, right? I mean, from what I can.
Silver Surfers galore, but Fantastic Four.
Dr. Doom. A lot of Dr. Dooms out there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because I haven't seen a whole. I mean, Silver Surfer. Yeah, I get that. I mean, the customs is a whole different situation. That's.
Yeah, I mean, from the day I started collecting, I've seen one. Johnny Storm. One.
Oh, the fire guy?
One of a kind.
Yeah.
The mold was broken, never done again. That's it. I've seen one.
Dang.
And that's 10 years. Nobody has made a Human Torch in quarter scale.
Wow.
And now you're starting to see a couple of guys are pumping them out, and they want to make them, but that shows you how crazy. Imagine if you were like a Human Torch fan and you're like,
oh yeah. Yeah.
Like,
can't get your guy. That sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Like Nightcrawler, there hasn't really been a true, like, accurate 1/4 scale Nightcrawler, and now there's tons.
That's crazy, man.
But just like you are saying for the Jedi, I'll take any Nightcrawler at this point.
Yeah, whatever you get.
Yeah, I have 2 on order, and I'm hearing of a 3rd one coming, so I'm gonna order that one. And
so a pretty cool one on one of the channels where Nightcrawler has all the stained glass behind him.
That's the one.
That thing is that's insane.
That's Franco Carlissimo, my friend.
That's Franco.
Yeah.
Franco's the person Franco works with has a beautiful mind. Well, them together, they have a beautiful mind for really understanding the characters and making something eye-catching. They are not afraid. You saw how big that Sentinel head is. They are not afraid.
It's the same guy.
Same guy.
Yeah.
Dude, that Sentinel head. When I saw that thing on Mr. X's channel, I was like, that's like, is that Rancor size, Steve?
I don't know.
It's like in the neighborhood.
It's got to be.
I actually showed my wife that today, because what I'm trying to do is get her accustomed to all that craziness, so that when I get something, it's like, oh, that's not so bad.
Yeah. Dude, my wife's gonna shit herself when she sees that Falcon cockpit.
Right. That's gonna be killer.
Oh my gosh.
I'm very envious of that. That's gonna be killer.
No, I'm excited for that, but my gosh, I don't know where I'm gonna put that damn thing. Like that's by the way, Steve, I ordered those Maji cases. So
you did.
I've got the Max
nice. From
coming in whenever.
From Spec Fiction?
No, so I went because Brian sent me all that stuff and worked with me to get that whole like corner thing worked out.
Yeah.
He gave me like 10% off. And so I just went with him and I was like, F it. I'm going to make it work. I'll figure it out until then.
You're right. Sometimes when somebody takes the time to work with you on something, right, and help you out and all that,
yeah.
It's like, yeah, you're going to spend a little bit more, but look, the guy just spent all that time with you. It's worth it. Right?
He's really kind. He's a really nice guy. And he took the time to like diagram them all out. And he even went back and forth with me on like, hey, I think you should probably do DF. Thinking because I ordered a couple six scale boxes. And then I'm like, hey, I want the Max series. And he's like, well, hold on. Like, he's like, that might be overkill for you. You need to be careful.
Really? Okay.
And so we went back and
teaching restraint, huh?
Yeah, we went back and forth, but I was like, dude, I want a future proof.
Yeah.
In some case, I want a future proof stuff, right?
The only question I had about your setup that you were looking at was the one in the corner.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
If you put anything in that case, it's in the corner.
Yeah.
So he's got two cases that come together in a corner, and that thing that's in the middle is going to be blocked on either side, right?
Yeah.
Totally.
So
I don't know. I don't have a big enough room to avoid that, right?
Yeah.
And I'm okay with it. Like I'll put something I don't need to completely look at, all the time. Like I know I'm going to put the Lego Millennium Falcon there in the corner.
Oh, okay.
I think that's a good thing to put there.
Like a helmet, something.
Yeah, or like it could be, it could even be a bust because it's a taller space. So I could put a bust in there of some sort, like the Snowtrooper bust, possibly. And there's some other things. I'm not sure how I can't.
You go with white or black?
I went with black. I personally like the black, so I went with black. And then on the second shelf up here, where my window is, I'm not going to have a backing. So it's basically going to be another acrylic backing to it.
Nice.
So that the window, the light can still come in because it's going to be pretty tall.
Did he give you a time when you thought that would be
quarter 4?
Really? Okay.
Yeah, fourth quarter.
So yeah, that's kind of nice that he worked with you. I mean, that acrylic back. That sounds almost like I don't remember seeing that option anywhere. That sounds like it's kind of a custom thing.
Yeah, you can talk to him about it. And basically I was like, look, dude, I don't want to, I sent him I actually worked it up in Photoshop where I sent him like, these are the measurements I have in my room. And this is blocked out. Like, this is where I want Max series. This is where I want the 6 series and all that stuff. And where my desk is going to go in the damn closet, stuff like that. So he, after that, he was like, okay, great. Like this, send me this thing. And he worked with me. And so, yeah, it was cool. And 10% off. I mean, it's basically like getting the kind of percent off you get on their website for wall display setup. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it worked out.
Chris is in the chat.
I'm telling you, dude, he's all over this shit. Dude.
Join us.
Hey, Chris, how come you're not coming on the show? What's going on?
I know. What's going on?
What's going on, Chris? You need to get permission.
So luckily for me, I'll say that I can actually say this now. I haven't been cursed by Steve yet. So
yeah. Well, you keep going. See, I'm definitely shopping for bargains at times. And you're going brand new in box.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
And all that. So
I'm just worried.
I get bargains all the time and I rarely get breaks.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, but most of them I go is pick up. So,
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Well, Steve, have you had more problems? You've had more problems on eBay though, haven't you?
My talent came from
that's
probably one of the most reputed sellers on all of Facebook, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this guy's been selling off his collection for a while.
Yeah, it's true.
And it was disastrous. It was disastrous for me. But you know what? I'm actually happy I didn't like the Talon because I don't think I'm going to reorder her.
You don't think you're going to get her?
No, I don't think so now.
Interesting. Because I think Taylor's selling her, isn't he?
He's selling his custom.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Shaak Ti is much better than her, and all the Mythos are better than her. Mm-hmm. And I'm actually starting to consider getting some of the life-size busts. So
damn,
yeah, I know,
hardcore. Yeah. So which ones? Oh,
well, the mall for sure.
That one looks really.
I was gonna say you should get that one quick before it's gone.
Yeah. I'm definitely that's the first one I'll get, and I'm thinking about the Boba Fett as well.
Dude, that Boba Fett looks good. Cool. It's just you've seen the paint, right?
I'm a little bit. That's the one thing that's holding me up a little bit. The paint is kind of mass-produced type of paint, right? And so that's my hesitation. But I have to keep telling myself. It's if you look at the weathering pattern.
Yeah.
The weathering doesn't.
It doesn't look organic.
Right. It
looks painted. It looks painted. The thing is,
mass-produced weathering.
When you step back, though, it's awesome.
Right. Right. If you get up really close and look at it, that's where it's like. But I have to remind myself that this is a statue. This is not like a life size, like a meant to be completely screen accurate, right? I mean, if you look at the weathering on the chest. They're all going in the same direction. They're all, it's like yellow and all that. And
yeah, I get what you're saying.
That cape thing or whatever, that is awesome.
Yeah. It's still pretty cool. I mean,
it's awesome.
Yeah. I think that's dope.
It's only it's only these little spots here where like instead of it looking like it was actually scratched to the inside, it looks like painted around it and stuff. So
I was watching this guy's video on YouTube, and he said that the weathering on the helmet looks like it was drawn with a marker, like a Sharpie or something when you get up close to it. And so at least I'm going in with my eyes open.
Yeah, sure.
Right. So, but then the other thing I'm thinking about doing is maybe going and buying all the torsos for the helmets that I'm getting from RS Prop.
Yeah, sure. Of course.
Right.
Of course.
Then you get a bust with a, torso and all that. And
right.
And that's from RS Prop Masters, and nobody's going to beat them.
No. Like in terms of like accuracy, RS Prop Masters is great. The thing you're not going to get, I think, with RS Prop Masters is, I mean, look at that. This is bad right here.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
It almost looks like it was a decal that they.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I get what you're saying.
That's making me hesitate.
There's tricks, but you guys probably aren't ready to modify your stuff yet.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do that either.
Come on, man. That's the final. That's the final.
That's
step.
the final step, bro.
That's it. That's your final steps.
Yeah, that's
the journey to the dark side will be complete.
Yeah, if you put a little paint on a nail file, a little silver paint on a nail file, and just scratch it.
Oh my God, doing it ourselves? Whoa, that's
I know, right?
You're talking about paying somebody.
It's all about getting the set. And then at that point you're fully immersed. You're stuck now.
You know what you're not going to get though, Steve, with RS is that
that's
the cape flowing stuff. Like you're not going to get that.
Yeah, well, they don't have the torso for Fett anyway, right?
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I was looking at all those troopers.
Oh yeah.
And all the trooper busts were just like, wow, that would be so cool to not just have the helmet, but to get the bust with it as well.
They're really cool. Honestly, the cool part, this stuff, you almost have to look at Sideshow's version as like more of a giant statue, like a bust statue, versus RS. You could literally take that gear off of it, put it on, and go trooping and like with the 501st. That's what's crazy about it.
Yeah,
it's very accurate. So it's just
so. Dalton posts. Did you guys see RS Prop eviscerate the Boba Fett helmet today? Yeah. So on their channel, they did a video comparing the Black Series Boba Fett helmet to the EFX Boba Fett helmet, and and they make their own, right? And these guys are. Look, I say this with the purest admiration. They are snobs.
Oh yeah, they're hardcore
when it comes to Star Wars stuff, right?
Prop guys. They're prop.
I love that. I love that.
They're complete snobs.
I want to watch them now.
It's so great.
But he's like, he's holding the Black Series helmet, and he's like, "It looks like a toy. It looks like it's like, well, it is a toy, man. What do you?
But they even took the EFX one, and EFX is like, they're well known for making good helmets.
But they were right.
Yeah,
they showed the inside of it. There's no lining. It is flexible. I told you guys about the paint. I told you that I didn't think that the weathering on the paint looked real. Sure. So like, if you think about that paint, right? Real weathering should look like it's exposing layers below, right? But instead, the weathering on this is built up. Right. And it's the opposite of what it is. So when you look at it, if you look at it real close, you realize, well, wait a second. If it's a wear, the layers below should be lower.
The paint chipped off and metal is
right. So they were talking about not having any texture to it. He called it very two-dimensional, right? Which was accurate. Which is he was right about that. And the crazy thing is, their helmet for roughly the same price would probably it was all hand painted and blow people away, right? So, yeah, they were right. It was a fun video, but I thought that they were maybe a little bit too harsh on $100 mass-produced.
Yeah, they were.
Black Series helmet.
So let me ask you a question.
Hey, Tim, man, how many times are you going to flash your crotch at us?
I love it. No, just keep doing it, dude. It's fine. We love it.
I just bust your chops.
On that Boba Fett, the sideshow one, is there anything not accurate about the sculpt or like the position of stuff?
That's a good question.
So this is Return of the Jedi, so it's going to be different than the helmets that we've been looking at, Matt. Right? So this is a slightly different color scheme.
Barring
the paint.
Right. I don't know the answer to that. I wonder if the rangefinder is accurate.
I can tell you here. I'll look.
The shape, Well, I think he's talking on the. You're talking about on the statue, right? Tim?
Yeah. The thing I'm thinking is, if you're a particular person, which I'm very much like that.
Yeah.
And you really like the piece, you can just get it painted by like a master painter. If it's something that you're never going to get rid of, and stuff, and then it'll be.
Yeah, I'm kind of freaked out by getting a statue painted by a regular statue painted by a master painter. It's a whole freaking bust. I can't imagine how much that would cost.
Have you looked at the RS really close, Steve? Because the weathering is ridiculous.
Look how small I tried to today, but look how small the picture.
No, I know their pictures are tiny, but you can if you actually look at it pretty good, you can tell that the weathering is just fantastic. Like it's actually scratched away.
But if you look at the rangefinder, the whole mechanism for it, I think that if we went and looked at the rangefinder mechanism on that statue, there probably would be some differences.
Yeah, you're probably right.
What's up, Gary? Gary's watching.
Gary Speed?
Hey.
BD.
So someone wanted me to turn some pervert wanted me to turn it around. I'm gonna.
So Matt, where will this piece reside, sir?
So I think sadly, it's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna go behind me. I think it's gonna go in this other detail.
She will fit. Yes, I got mine in detail.
I'm trying to keep all my statues on the ground. On the ground floor because I'm worried about earthquakes. Yeah. So something we have to think about here. So and I think that's why once I get the detolfs in, or not detolfs, the modu cases in, I'm gonna be less worried, but still always worried.
Right.
You can look into museum putty.
Yeah, I've seen that. That I'm not so worried with being on the ground floor. I'm not so worried about it. The more concern is will everything break above it and just fall down on top of it? So I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna be.
Matt, do you think that if you got insurance that would cover earthquakes?
It's a good question. I don't know. Being out in California, we had living where we live. We had trouble getting insurance for our house just because of fire insurance. Depending on where you live, sometimes they're like, "Nah, we're not gonna take that risk." We've had to evacuate a couple times because of fires. So, it is is what it is out here. You're gonna get an earthquake at some point, and you're gonna get a fire at some point. But I swear to God, if there's a fire anywhere near my house, I'm gonna grab as much as
unloading. I'm telling
I'm gonna grab as much as I can and take it with me, dude. I swear. Yeah,
So,
I don't know.
Kylo's being awfully quiet.
Yeah,
what's going on, Kylo?
Is this PJ?
It's Taylor.
Yeah, of course it is.
So
that's PJ, man.
PJ.
Come on, PJ.
I'll show them the power of the darkness.
I think they already seen it, man.
PJ, you just staring at Shaak Ti's ass? What are you doing?
Yeah. Actually, I wasn't staring at Shaak Ti's ass. I was staring at Tim's eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you missed it. We had a couple crotch shots earlier.
Yeah.
Those are my knees, bro.
I
know.
I like those
Indian style because I got you on like a display cabinet in front of me. I don't have like a phone stand.
I like those kind of shots. Anyway, what's going on, guys? Sorry,
every day with this crazy shit. Believe it.
Yeah. What's going on?
PJ,
Oh man,
what's
she looks. What's up with Tim? What's up, Thor, Steve, and Matt?
What's up, dude?
PJ,
yeah,
man.
my webcam is down for the count, so
I haven't been on a stream
bummer.
with you in like 3 weeks, PJ. What's going on?
3 weeks. More like it feels like 3 weeks. It's like a week and a half. Yeah.
BJ, is your camera gonna work for Monday, dude? We gotta have you on. Shelter in Space.
I'm gonna try because it seems that there's like a, I don't know. Let's just say it's webcams are hard to come by for some reason, and if they are available, it takes a while for them to ship. So I'm gonna see. I already ordered one.
Yeah.
So hopefully it comes by Monday.
Is there a Best Buy near you?
There is, but I've been avoiding any shopping.
Oh, I got you.
Physical shopping.
Okay.
Just because people.
Okay.
Tim knows. Tim and I live in Jersey, so the people out here are a little crazy. So
I would imagine. Haven't they always been that way?
Well, you're right. It's 10 times more now.
I went to college in New York, and I would every now and then I'd go into New Jersey, and dude, your guys' roads and your turnpikes and all that stuff, I get it's just tough to drive for me.
What?
It is, man. I get so confused.
Where in New York?
What?
It was in
I've
Nyack.
never heard anybody say that
Nyack?
before in my life.
Yeah, it's like right outside the city. What's that?
Yeah.
I've never heard anybody say that before in my life.
Oh, really? Yeah, compared
the
to
New Jersey Parkway, like the Garden State Parkway goes from the top of New Jersey to the bottom. It's like
okay.
It goes straight down.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
easy.
I also didn't grow up in this country, so I grew up somewhere else, and so that means to me this is crazy. This is
Are you considering California a different country?
No, I'm not. so no, I grew up in South America. So, but that said, when I got here, when I got to college in the States, I swear to God, this is so stupid. I hadn't driven, right? You can't drive in South America. You gotta be freaking crazy. So when I got here, I started doing all the driving stuff, and I thought that exit onlys meant exit only. That you can't get back on from the exit. And so I would be like, well, can't get off here. Gotta go to the next place. And so like, or else I can't get back on the damn thing. It's crazy, dude. Like I couldn't.
Well, a lot of places in New Jersey are like that. Once you get off, you never can come back. So.
What? Yo, this Jersey bashing better stop quick.
No, and the only
Tim, I'm from Queens, so I'm allowed to bash Jersey, I guess.
The only place I knew of from Jersey that I knew a lot of was what's it called?
Hoboken.
No, well, yeah, Hoboken, but not Newark. Which Newark is rough,
oh my God. Yeah.
And so, but there's so many beautiful places in New Jersey. It's just I just hadn't seen them. I hadn't been to them. So
yeah, actually, surprisingly, Newark has gotten better.
Has it? Really?
Yeah, 10 times better.
It was rough.
It was rough. I mean, I used to work around there, and I used to remember like I would witness like someone getting stabbed in broad daylight. But I mean,
dude.
Yeah.
So once you left, it got better.
Yeah, once I left, I was like, peace out. That's when all the bad guys left with me. And then but it was it's nice now. Like there's like a nice downtown area. It's got a lot of like like
gentrified.
Yeah, there you go. That's the word I was looking for.
Tim, what part of Jersey are you from?
I'm like 25 minutes north of Newark.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm in Bergen County.
Yeah, it's been a while. PJ, so where are you, PJ, in New Jersey?
I'm around in Central Jersey, around around Edison area.
Okay.
Do
you guys ever make it in? Do you make it into the city very much?
Well, I used to grow. Yeah.
You work in the city?
Yeah, it's a nightmare. It's awful.
Oh, it's gotta be.
Yeah.
Dude.
Well, see, I used to live up north, close to Tim. I would say that's where my parents are from. All right, and I was always 15 minutes away from the city. So I was always in the city. But the thing is that I hate going to the city because it's just a nightmare.
It is, man.
Driving wise, I mean, subway wise, train wise is not bad.
Well, most people that talk about New York talk about it like, oh, I'm gonna go visit New York and walk through Central Park and do all this stuff. It's like that's nice, but if you have to work in New York City and drive around and try to figure out where to park and try to figure out, it's a freaking nightmare.
I hate it. I hate it when relatives came to visit because what's the number one thing they want to do
of course.
Is they want to go to the city and visit Statue of Liberty. And it's not like one of those things like you kind of have to like have them adjust to like taking public transportation, because taking public transportation, you're going to see all kinds of stuff. Like you're going to see like bums peeing on the side, sleeping. Yes. It's just one of those things. Like if you live here, you're used to it and you just walk past them. If you don't live here, you're like, oh, that guy's like throwing up in the side there. Which I did. Tim knows. I did that in New York Comic Con. Like our first time we hung out, I threw up. I was throwing up in the train station.
I wasn't with you when you were throwing up.
Oh, no one was with me. Only the cop.
I was.
Only the cop.
Me and Rodney.
I was with you the next day when you wouldn't take your sunglasses off.
Oh my gosh, that was a nightmare.
Do you guys think they'll do, PJ? Do you think they'll do New York Comic Con?
I highly doubt it, man.
They still haven't said anything, right?
I doubt any cons are going to happen this year.
Yeah,
New York is the worst hit place out of all of them.
Yeah, they're not going to take a chance. Are you kidding me?
I wouldn't think so either, but
yeah, they're probably going to do what San Diego Comic Con's doing. I think they're doing everything online now, right?
Yeah, I think so. They're doing a virtual
stream.
Yeah.
Thor, do you think they made this a full piece and not the head switching out because of all of this stuff, like the LECU? Is that what it's called?
Well, yeah, they try to avoid seams and everything. So if you can get it as one piece, since the head is not the EX, they probably just went for a whole piece for the body.
Right. I got you,
Matt. What do you think, man?
Oh, it's amazing. She's crazy, dude.
Look how bright that saber is.
Oh, it's amazing. That, and I mean, the paint is honestly, the portraits. I didn't realize how good the portrait is. And until I saw some reviews, I didn't realize how amazing the portrait is. It's really good.
It's a reason why she remains the only light side piece in my collection. I won't. That's how good she is, bro. I won't get rid of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wasn't collecting back in the day when these pieces were coming out, but I mean, that's where Sideshow was. I mean, still is. They still are, but they were just killing it back then, man. Right, Tim? Like, piece after piece.
And you think that they cost $350? It's just,
I know.
It makes you sick.
My first PF was $279.
Oh my gosh!
Did it kill you at the time to spend that money on it too?
It was a thought, because I was just bowing at that point, and I was like, I saw Silver Surfer in person, and I was like, man, I really want that. So I started looking up that company, and I was like, oh, Sideshow. Wow, they make X-Men. Wow, they have Rogue and Colossus. And I was like, Colossus was $399 at the time, and I'm like, ooh, that's a lot. That's expensive.
I know.
But then a 24-inch piece came, and I was like, this is it. I'm going all quarter scale. Boom. That was it. I stopped doing the 1/6 scale stuff, and I've been quarter scale since. And larger, half scale, life size,
So when just real quick, so when Prime 1 started, right? Did they were they always crazy expensive with expensive shipping always? Or did they start, do you know what I mean? Like, has it always been
Prime 1 has always been expensive because they started around the time that statues were expensive.
Okay.
So when statues like this Rogue was $279, and then $399, then $379, then $457, then $579, now $799, and you're like, all right. So they started when it was around the $600-$700 mark anyway.
Okay.
But they had a partnership with Sideshow to distribute through them, so the shipping was gratis to us.
Right.
They absorbed that cost. They probably have their own freighter that brings everything.
Right, they're getting pallets of whatever.
They started out with the Michael Bay Transformers, and then their claim to fame really started with the Arkham line of the Batman pieces. Yep. And that's when people really started to notice them when those started coming out. Because to this day, I love that Beyond piece that they had.
Oh yeah, that's amazing.
I love that piece. But
we are doomed if they ever get the Star Wars license.
we talked about that last night. I swear to God, one day they come out with that and say, "Here's a
forget it."
So a lot of that's interesting, right? The licensing stuff. I think at the time, Sideshow created the quarter scale market.
Right.
It didn't exist prior to them, so they owned the quarter scale market for Marvel, and they didn't have the DC license. It took them 10 years to get that license. Once they finally got that. At that time, XM had come out, so they started making the Marvel stuff in the Southeast Asia region. Mm-hmm. I think Sideshow got smart and they started locking the license down worldwide. Mm-hmm. So now I think there's less room for people to absorb stuff. So they might have reworded the contract for Star Wars to lock everybody out from taking it at any scale. Which is interesting. You know what I mean?
Almost right, but XM could do it in Asia, right? XM
they can do it in Asia, yeah. Southeast Asia, yeah.
Yeah, wow, yeah.
Yeah, and then the loop, I guess the loophole is, they have resellers that sell it, and then bring it over here.
So thankful for resellers. So thankful.
Yeah.
That's such a great service they provide, huh?
So, but here's my question: If Prime 1 decided where are they located?
Japan.
What's the recourse for them if they didn't have the license and they decided to make something, right? Like, would that just be like it would kill everything?
That would ruin their company.
Yeah, their other licenses would be in jeopardy, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of the reason why the custom market can still survive is because it stays low.
Yeah, okay.
If I'm Disney and I'm trying to crack your skull because you're taking my license, it better be worth my money. It better be worth my lawyer's time. Right. If you're making $80,000, I'm not really. Oh, you're making millions? I'm coming after you, and I'm going to destroy you. So a lot of that is.
Have you seen any custom makers get any do not stop what?
Yeah, I've heard about it. I've heard about it in the past. Mm-hmm. But as of lately, that kind of stuff, there's just too much of it out there, and it's impossible. I'm on the side of buying them. It's impossible to know all of them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Just the scene has exploded.
Every week you guys do a DCS.
It's new shit every week.
And Thor has no problems putting up a ton of pictures. It's crazy.
Yeah. And that's why I was saying is that custom, you gotta be picky with what you want because it can get crazy. You know what I'm saying?
DJ, you don't do customs at all?
I just don't do custom because I'm just kind of scared of the situation. I've seen some people lose money on it. I mean, that's only very few.
Yeah, sure.
Obviously, and I don't know. It's just I feel like if I get into it, I'll be, it would just be another black hole. Look at how many characters like a lot of these custom companies are making. Like, dude, like there's so many. There's so many.
There's so many. Yeah.
I mean,
I just paid a statue cost for shipping. Like besides statue. Just to ship something.
For a custom?
Yeah.
Jeez.
So at that point you're like, whoa, I'm like $1,800 deep into this thing.
It's crazy. And the problem is at some point you can't stop. It's like,
well, hold on. What's the quick? Was it painted?
Yeah, painted.
Oh, okay. Because sometimes you get paid that and it's not painted. You still gotta get it painted.
Yeah.
Tim, when are you gonna get that? When are you gonna get that Wolverine painted?
My painter's got to clear his line. He has he accepts things before he's ready to work on them, as most painters do. Like he'll be working on a project and have 3 people in line after that. So when I spoke to him when I got the piece, he said, "I'm not taking any more on.
Yeah,
I'm gonna finish my queue, and then I'm all yours, and I'm not taking anything until I'm done." So I'm totally down with that.
Steve, have you seen this piece that we're talking about? Have you seen this?
The Samurai Wolverine.
The Samurai Wolverine with the flowers behind him.
With the what behind him?
The flowers, the tree behind him.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Maybe.
It's so good. It's such a good sculpt, and
I would be freaked out to buy an unpainted statue. I don't know.
What?
Bro, that's an open canvas, bro. Oh my god.
Yeah, it is an open.
Because then you got to find a guy to go paint it, and that's what I'm saying. It sounds like it's gonna be painted in 2025 or something.
Nah, bro.
No. He's gonna start it by the end of this year. But that's the other thing too. I'm not. I know tons of painters. I hang out with them and I'm friends with them and I see them at cons and stuff. So it's like I have a connection to them that benefits me being able to buy things that are unpainted.
Right.
Well,
if I have those connections, I'm totally with you. I'm like, forget that.
You guys are kind of fortunate because you're on the coasts in big cities. And you have within driving distance, you have tons of resources. I'm in Colorado. There's nobody in Colorado. I mean, there's no collectors in Colorado. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but I mean,
I get it.
There's no.
Steve. That's because you collect everything, and you're the collector in Colorado.
Yeah,
that's all you need.
You left nothing for other Coloradoans. How do you call them?
PJ and I have had steak together.
Yeah.
So I get it.
Yeah.
That's not a euphemism, right?
But
it's not.
But what's cool?
We had steak together.
We fed each other meat.
What's cool now, though, Steve, is people.
It was
now.
It was a pretty good meet too.
Right, Steve? People now. Thor and Tim. And
Thor is definitely opening up a new world for me, which is great. Having somebody I can send something to get repaired.
Oh
that's just like, wow, really? That's possible now?
Well, you got painters close to you too out in LA. We know a guy that does outstanding work. So
yes.
Yeah, Taylor was mentioning that.
Yeah, you have one of the best painters out there by you.
Lewis is incredible, man. There's a bunch of guys, but Lewis for sure.
Lewis. Yeah, you should see his work, man. It's sick. And he fixed the statues too, right? It's him.
Yeah, is it Mr. X in Colorado?
He is. He's probably 45 minutes away from my house.
That's why there's nobody else.
I was thinking about
Colorado
pulling up to his house and saying, "Hi, how you doing?"
Yeah, you and Mr. X have tons of.
Look, don't even try. Don't even try to put me in the same class as
Mr.
that
X
guy.
is at a whole different level.
He said today that he gets 4 a week. 4 statues a week.
Man. I can't.
Which is,
but that's only possible because of customs, right? I mean, that can only be possible.
Yeah. If it was only Sideshow, he would have bought
4 this month.
You what?
That?
I think I'm getting 4 this month.
Which is that a lot for you? Is that a lot?
That's a lot for me. Yeah.
That's a lot for any collector. The 4 a day.
I usually average. I average 8 or 10 a year.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Depending on what it is, or
that's so different than the hot toy collectors side of things. You know what I'm saying? It's very different. And I think that's one of the problems we have coming into statues from hot toys, especially recently, is you get something and you're like, okay, well, what else is coming in? Like, what else can I get? And it's just not the same way. It's not
Matt,
the same.
you only collect Star Wars, right? A while back, I was collecting both Marvel and Star Wars, and dabbling in DC, and getting Asmus Lord of the Rings, right? And then some of the smaller ones, and it wasn't unusual to get 2-3 a week, right? And so switching to this, it's definitely weird trying to slow down.
Yeah.
And not getting something this week. I'm like, what's going on? I need the fix.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this is that piece.
Oh wow, no, I don't think I've seen.
Oh my
I don't think
gosh,
I've seen this.
I've
seen this. I've seen. What was that other head? Was that an alternate head?
That's an alternate head. Yeah. How many heads does it have?
Five portraits.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I've seen it in Tim's in person, and unpainted. It's breathtaking, man. And I can't wait to see what Tim has.
But that's more than a head. He was shirtless on the first one.
Yeah,
it's got a couple
two torsos.
He's got a tattoo.
How do you not get two of these? How do you not get two? I mean,
because they're expensive. And
they sell out. I'm sorry, Steve.
It's more than a torso. It's an entire body.
Yeah.
So the funny thing about this one, right? When this went up for order, nobody even knew what it was. The guy just said, "I'm gonna make something. You're gonna love it. If you want in, send me 50 euros right now."
Wow. Okay.
So I was just like, "Fuck it." I love the artist.
50 euros, right?
I love the group. Here it is. It's worth the gamble. And then, 2 months later, he showed us this, and I was like, "You're fucking kidding me!" Like, for me, it couldn't be a better piece.
Yeah.
Oh, it's incredible.
And I mean,
but I'm
a Wolverine guy, so
Tim, I'll say this though. I've seen this thing painted like absolute dog shit.
Oh yeah.
I watched a video on someone painting it, and I was like, I cannot believe you just ruined the statue. Like, seriously.
Uh-huh.
And so, of course, it has to be both. The sculpt and the painting is.
What's it? $400, $500 at least to paint the statue?
No.
How much?
No.
Oh, it's like over 2,000 sometimes.
Forget it.
Yeah, no.
Look at it.
For me, it's worth it.
Yeah, but if you think about it, though, Steve, like how many pieces of this piece has been made, and to get but I'm just resale. Just think about resale value. This is like this is just art right here. Like you're talking about like the Mona Lisa of statues here.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So even like resale though, I feel like is counted out on this piece because it is impossible to ship it.
Yeah,
it's impossible. The tree is 35 inches tall. There's eight or nine branches coming off of it, and they come out in all different directions. They're as thick as your pinky, like some of the branches, or like as thick as your thumb. So it's gonna break on the shipping. So there's
how many flowers are there?
Over 300.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy, dude. Steve, there's a video out there of someone painting this, and I don't know where it is, but it's absolutely incredible what they do to it, and it's is that the one that was painted on video? Okay,
that's Titty Nun Naxud.
Yeah, and it's so beautiful, man. It's worth watching.
I don't doubt it. But that's a game I do not want to touch. I do not want to touch that game.
You'll get there one day.
No friggin' way.
I get that, but I have 25 Wolverine statues.
Yeah.
So at what point do I say, well, you know what? I think I'm good on Wolverine, and then I go, oh, but I'll get this.
Yeah.
It's like a crowning jewel. Like,
What would have to happen for me to do something like that is if I had 25 Wolverine, I was looking at that, I'd have to sell 5 of my Wolverine. Just go sell them. Yes, because there's no way I could just spend fresh money like on.
Oh my man, that is all I've been spending.
We're talking like fresh
money.
It's like probably $4. You're probably $4,000 all in on that when you're done with that statue. I'm guessing.
Yeah, maybe.
Right?
Yeah.
Maybe more.
Maybe.
You don't have to tell me. Don't tell me. But you're probably all right. So maybe 5.
I'm probably 60 grand deep in my room.
No. Sure, fair enough. Right. Yeah, I'm talking about that particular statue. I would have to sell. I could not. No, there's.
Well, Tim, have you ever sold anything? Like,
I have. I've probably sold 10 pieces.
Okay.
And I only sell stuff if I know that it just doesn't belong here, you know? For the most part, I really try to hold on to everything. I mean, I still have like the first statue I ever bought and stuff like that.
Yeah. There you go, Steve.
Perfect. I'm in.
Rob will paint it for you.
But for like custom paint jobs, you're looking for like a regular. Oh, that thing's not quarter scale either. That thing's bigger than quarter scale.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
So these painters can make a living doing what they're doing.
Oh yeah, my friend John quit his job and works full time modifying and painting statues.
That's that's fantastic.
Awesome. Check out his channel, Vince
Bell Customs.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's a magician, dude. If you watch what this guy does, the Prime one did a New 52 Green Lantern. Have you guys seen that?
No.
He's like leaning and like shooting his ring power, and like the power of the ring is like holding his body up.
Yeah.
So he took that statue, stripped it all down, sanded the whole body down, and resculpted it into a Captain Marvel, Genis-Vell, like complete remake. It's insane. It's insane what this guy does. And I mean, that's a personal project he does. So in between his other projects, he's a magician. He's nuts. Anything's possible, man. That's the thing. You'll learn.
Yeah.
You know?
And you know, one thing is, you know, when it comes to statues, you definitely look at it, Tim. Like, it took me a while to get to the point where I'm like, well, I really need to come down to a focus. And Tim has perfected that. Like, you know, obviously he just sticks with X-Men and Wolverines and stuff like that. Because if you try to go outside of that, oh my gosh, dude, it gets messy. It gets messy real quick.
I've messed up too, so I'm not. I have a life-size Groot.
I think have I seen that?
It's so good.
Yeah. I think I might have seen
it. Groot on the tour. It's just in 2 boxes right now because it's 2 boxes big, and it's just in my other room, just in boxes.
Oh, the whole thing, not just the torso, the whole.
Oh no, it's 30. It's 33 inches tall. It's shoulders and the chest, and then the head.
I've seen that piece. I've seen that piece before. Bro. Yeah, I've seen that piece before. It's amazing.
It's enormous.
Yeah, it's a nice.
Stupid shit. I have an Iron Man bust, Captain America stuff, Spider-Man stuff, Mortal Kombat stuff. So I've fucked up. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Kumar, man. He actually bought Asajj. He pre-ordered it.
Really?
Yeah. He posted on the group.
He bought Vader. And he bought Vader as well.
And he got Mythos Vader.
Yeah.
They have turned to the dark side of the force.
It's all over after you get your first 2.
Yeah, it's nice. It's just a different feeling. Like I collect both Hot Toys and Star Wars, and I enjoy collecting both. I mean Star Wars statues. Yeah. And it's 2 different feelings. But man, one thing about statues is that, man, it has such a presence in your collection. As soon as you walk in, you're like, if anybody walks in your room in your man cave, they're going straight for the statues. They'll appreciate the Hot Toys, don't get me wrong, but they will like gravitate towards the bigger stuff, you know?
Yeah. It's interesting. I've Steve, what's your feeling about Hot Toys versus statues at this point?
I can't believe you just asked me that question.
We're gonna get deep now.
I know. I
spent my morning thinking about this.
Did you really?
Oh,
really? Wow.
I really
what
did.
A great question to ask.
Because so there's a guy on one of the other groups. His name is Eddie Ford.
Yeah, totally.
And he's been posting pictures of his collection, right?
Yes.
And he's got the Regal Robot Chewbacca skull, head bust. He's got he's got all the Master Replicas things and whatnot, and it didn't look like he had many, if any, Hot Toys in it.
Right.
And basically, for him, it was all perfect accuracy, life size, everything. Right. Yep. And I was looking at that, and I'm like, oh, man, that's really cool. And I'm slowly starting to lose interest in the Hot Toys.
Really?
Slowly starting to lose interest.
What?
because I keep thinking, well, what would I prefer? Would I prefer a bust? Would I prefer stuff? I got to cover stuff. I'm thinking, what would I rather have? A snowtrooper bust, right? Or the 2-pack of VGM 25 snowtroopers, right? From Hot Toys.
Yeah.
What would I rather have? A snowtrooper bust or the 2-pack?
Right.
And I'm like, oh, for sure, the bust. And what I've been doing is I've been selling my Hot Toys to upgrade the statues. I've been doing a lot of that. Yeah. I'm looking.
This is the guy.
Right. So I'm looking at this collection and I'm saying, man, look how awesome this is, right? Look how there's no Hot Toys in this picture, and I love all the stuff here. There's no statues in there either, which is interesting.
There's no statues.
Look at these guys down here. This is beyond the dark side. You're a traitor to the Rebel Alliance.
put up Leo's comment.
Hey guys, we're not talking about stopping collecting. Like, Steve's not going to stop. If he sees something he likes, it's Hot Toys, he's going to buy it.
But then I sit there. So I say all that, and then I think, yeah, but oh wow, the new Rex is coming out,
right?
And how amazing that! And I can't wait to get Leia and Wicket and put them with the speeder bike and Luke, right? Yeah. And so there's the other half of me that says no. These things are amazing. They're so great. Right. So right now I'm being pulled in both directions. I'm one direction saying, get out of the Hot Toys game, focus on the higher end, right?
Yeah.
And then the other part of me saying, but look at all the one thing that all this cannot match, no matter how many props you buy and statues you buy and all that stuff, cannot match the variety and frequency at which Hot Toys come out, right?
And the accuracy, honestly, their accuracy in terms of head sculpt is it's like unrivaled. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, and so I hear you.
Well, it's getting there. Statues are getting there.
It is getting there. The Prime 1 Joker is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That Prime 1 Joker is
ridiculous.
It's just an example.
One?
The one that the K8 can.
Thor, you have pictures on that, right?
Yeah, let me go back. I had to go all the way back.
This is Leonardo. This is just Steve's long con to justify buying the Gal Gadot bust. Let me tell you, I gotta say, if I was where I am now when that first came out, I might be able to justify getting that bust.
Yeah.
That bust, oh man. I don't know which I like better, Chewbacca or the Gal Gadot bust. It's
DJ's getting it.
Close. Yeah, that's what he says. He's got it on order, right?
I have it on order, but my reasons to wanting to get that statue is super wrong. I literally would probably give it a kiss and then probably resell it after.
You look at what you did. You might have a steak dinner with her.
Yeah, definitely. Oh yeah.
Look at what you did, Steve. Look what you did with that question.
I'm not within a month of finding you, PJ City.
I'm telling you. We started a horrible thing. No, but
I refuse to answer this question because I don't want the crowd to turn on me.
No. I look, no matter what, whether people want to follow, keep subscribe to our channel or keep being on the Facebook group, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sit here and be a fake person here. Right. I honestly have been questioning this lately. Not that I want to get out of Hot Toys, because I don't, but I find it interesting finding a new thing, getting into a new thing, and how that changes your perspective on your whole collection, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And that's all that I think, Steve, you're saying the same thing. It just changes the way you look at everything, and all of a sudden you're like, well, where do I want this to go? Right? Do I want to continue getting everything that's coming out of Hot Toys? Because I'm kind of with you, Steve, where I want to be more selective with Hot Toys. Not that I want to stop getting Hot Toys. I think Hot Toys stuff is amazing. Yeah. But at the same time, I want to be more selective because I want to be able to have more of a variety in everything I get. And I just don't know. With me, I don't know if I will go down the like master replica side of things and like actually getting like real like hardcore high end stuff. I just don't know if I can go swing that side.
Look at this. I mean, but when I look at this picture and I see that Vader bust and the Chewbacca bust,
the Chewbacca's incredible,
and all those helmets and the Boosh and then all the prop replicas, that is just.
It's cool. It's just that's not where I don't want my collection to look like that. I want to have more variety in my collection personally, and so I like the Hot Toys and statues mixed in. And,
the interesting thing about this is there's nothing newer than the original trilogy. Well, there is a Death Trooper, but I mean, there's very little other than the original trilogy, and you don't get like you wouldn't find a Shaak Ti here, right?
Yeah,
or Captain Rex or something. Which I love all that variety, and that's one of the things that the Hot Toys brings me is the ability to go and get that variety.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it just comes down to is that, you know, as long as you have one focus, like if you just stick with Star Wars, then you're good. The thing is also is that not to collect too many of like one thing, like, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't just be like collecting a whole bunch of busts, statues, and Hot Toys, because something's got to give. Because I mean,
oh my God, this is great.
It's basically.
Someone ordered their first statue.
His first statue is a less mainstream character custom.
It looks crazy.
Amazing. Oh, it looks great, but I just for a first statue, he really went deep. He really went deep into this.
So
sorry to cut you off,
PJ. Keep going,
go
PJ.
Gotta go balls to the wall.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those is that like because you can't collect everything. You know, like in terms of like you can't collect all the busts and still have room for whole bunch of statues and Hot Toys,
right?
So you just got to be selective in like what fits your collection the best. You know?
But that's PJ. That's why part of the reason why I'm considering divesting myself of the Hot Toys is because if I do, then I could potentially get all the busts, you know, and go down that line. That's part of the rationale why I'm thinking about it.
Yeah,
but that's going to be really hard. That would be really hard to do.
Yeah. Obviously, you know how your collection to be. You know it best, right?
Yeah.
So and you know that's why I use Tim as a great example because you know he like opened my eyes when I saw it when it first came down to a Tim's man cave, right? I was just like, wow, like he put a lot of thought into like displaying everything because you know like what I always say is that like collecting is one thing, but displaying it is a different way of collecting, you know?
Yeah.
So, it all depends on how you want your collection room to look like, you know?
Exactly. It does. It's true. And that's the thing for me. Like I, especially looking forward and saying, now that I'm thinking about, okay, what kind of displays do I want in my room? I'm thinking to myself in this room, I'm thinking, I don't want to get a bunch of 1/6 displays only because it's to me it's fairly limiting, right? Because I can't change it up, and so I'm glad I figured that out now, and so that I can kind of future proof some of that stuff because that would suck if I had a bunch of 6 scale stuff coming in and then you're like, well, what do I do at that point, right?
One of the things that holds me back, Matt, is that I probably have 20 pre-orders.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like even if I wanted to, I couldn't get out for another 2 years.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, your collection though, Steve, looks great with 6 scale stuff. Like,
thanks.
Yeah, it does
with the hilts and the helmets.
Not too much. Matt,
I know.
Because the head is getting bigger.
I know. We'll slow down. We'll put the brakes on that. But that said, like, there's also things that you have to think about. Like, let's say you get a Rancor. It's like a 1/6 style size thing that can go with your Hot Toy. Yeah. So you know the what's the Tauntaun, same type of thing, right? So I think they just go so well together. Some of these things.
You keep reminding, like when you say Tauntaun, Rancor, I want that dewback.
Yeah, that dewback is amazing,
dude. Sideshow. I wish I was collecting back then, man. I would gobbled up all the stuff.
PJ, there's one up for $1,600 right now on.
Oh my gosh, no! But can you believe that thing was like only $300 back in the day?
$350. It's nuts.
And guys, just so everyone understands, like, look, I know it's hard to hear when Steve talks like this, and I no, but I'm
it's
saying
music to my ears.
I know, but what I'm saying is we've come out of like we have a 1/6 like thing, right? This is what we do. But what I like is that I like that things are evolving, and I like having something. Every time I look at our like Rogue One 6 page, it's new, it's brand new, so it's it is what it is. But like I like seeing helmet stuff. I love seeing statue stuff. I love seeing 1/6 stuff goes up. All this stuff can live together.
Yeah,
and it's awesome, especially if it's all Star Wars. You know what I mean?
Oh, I love you, man.
It's like we've known each other too long now, bro.
So somebody today suggested that we rename the group Rogue 1/4.
Yeah, I saw that.
Let me tell you something. Some of the members of Rogue 1/6, they say they call me Master now. I swear, I kid you not. And they're like, Master, teach us the patience. We cannot wait. I gotta buy this, but I said, no, my son. You must wait in the shadows for the correct price. No, I can't wait. I can't. I said, well, you are doomed to your own destruction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
well, guys, so Tim, what do you think of Hot Toys? And be honest, because I don't look. None of these guys give a shit. Like they're not going to stop doing what they're doing.
But what I mean, I don't like anything that has seams.
Okay, and joints, like being able to see anything.
Yeah, even if a statue has like a really bad seam, that's like something that I'm drawn to.
Yeah. Okay,
and in a bad way.
Yeah. Well, it's tough, right? I've heard people call Hot Toys dolls, right? I've heard that many times, and that's hard to hear for all of us, that collect Hot Toys, because that it just kind of hurts. but at the same time, like I get it, but Hot Toys are just like if they're dolls, they're the most accurate dolls I've ever seen in my life, right? Like they are. They're incredible.
I don't think that I have never had a problem with the quality of face sculpt or the cut and sew.
Sure.
I've always thought like the first Loki that they came out with, I questioned, ooh, this is really nice. I think when they're fully clothed, I'm more inclined to like want it. But yeah, if I can see the elbow joint, I'm just like, my brain just immediately is like, I don't want that.
Right. And Steve, what would you say the argument on the other side of things? Like, why do Hot Toys collectors try to avoid so much the statue side of things?
For me,
well, no, not for you. You collect both. I'm talking about
no. But what I'm saying is, my resistance to statues for the longest time, was the lower resolution of the paint job. It was the lower accuracy of all the materials and whatnot. I also didn't like the fact that you couldn't pose them. Right, you couldn't come up with your own way to do it. Right. But what has changed for me is the poses that they and I know Tim likes museum poses. Yeah. But a lot of these statues like that. Look at that XM Mall over.
Sure.
I mean, it looks unreal that XM Mall, right? You could never achieve that statue. That pose in a Hot Toy. There's just no way, right? Yeah, and so you look at that and you say, "Oh my God, that's amazing." And okay, well maybe the face doesn't look perfect on that, but look what I'm getting in exchange, right? So I kind of went that way. And Thor, you tease me every week with that darn statue.
I'm telling you, man. I'm serious. I'm not trying to tease you. I'm just being real. When you get this,
that's what they all say. I'm
not trying to tease you. Seriously. I'm just being real. You get one of these. It's worth it. And I know it costs a lot now, but
PJ, what were you gonna say?
I was going to say, in terms of poses, I think, statues have come a long way. I mean, look at the X-Men line that Sideshow is putting out right now. Yeah, it's great. Is absolutely insane. It is one of their best lines they've ever come out with. I mean, look at the Rogue pose. Like, the Rogue is literally flying. Yeah. Ready to rip out a freaking
Juggernaut. They're fucking bonkers. These new statues.
And
it'd be nice if their Star Wars line could start going in that direction, right?
Well, I think they are. I mean, that's why the Kachak brothers are sculpting some of the Mythos stuff. They sculpted Maul and Asajj. So I'm hoping that I hope that Sideshow gives up on the mixed media stuff, the premium formats, and just fully sculpted statue, like Star Wars statues. As good as they are with the tailoring and the cut and sew of the premium formats, I'd rather just have like a fully sculpted like statues with some like PVC here and there.
Yeah.
And I think
oh god, that's what I was laughing at, just in case you
XM, he's talking about XM Studios.
That XM, for me, that was an exciting development, seeing those XM statues. Because of the dynamicism that's in those statues. Unlike any, there's no other Star Wars that has that sort of dynamic look to it.
No, it's
we got Barbara in the house. What's up, Barb?
Hey, Barb.
Hey, Barb. What's up? Yeah, I mean, but don't get me wrong. I think Sideshow's they're gonna send some love to Star Wars. I mean, I'm just judging by the Mythos line. It looks like they're,
Yeah, I mean, to what PJ was just saying, I think they are going more towards the fully sculpt thing. I mean, it's indicative of what we've seen, these last 2 years. I think they only sacrifice the fully sculpted for capes, stuff that they know will have a long-term effect on the figure. Just because they've caught a little bit of criticism in the past with things leaning or whatever.
Oh, right.
Their engineering has taken a forefront, and that is a natural, occurrence of them feeling like it's going to make the engineering much more difficult.
Yeah.
You got to think too, right? That Shaak Ti that you just got, one body piece, one mold.
Yeah.
Cheaper,
not an arm, a leg. All that stuff costs money.
A bunch of switch outs.
The mold. It's
right.
So then you got to think, oh, well, if I have to support this thing, I have to metal rod it. So I have to make the mold, put the metal rod in, and then fill the mold. And then every piece gets a metal rod. The cost goes through the roof. So
yeah.
You gotta cut something somewhere.
Yeah. And I'll say this for me, where I kind of came to the realization was that like the hot toy discussion is like, yes, with statues, you can't pose them, right? You can't do this or that. I haven't reposed a hot toy in, I can't tell you how long. Like I find the pose I like, I put it there, and then I don't really touch it. I'm not the type of person that goes and fiddles with it and changes it and brings it in front of the camera and plays with it while we're doing, like, I get people that love that side of it, right? The action figure side of it is fantastic, and you can do whatever you want. But at some point for me, it was like, again, like Steve, I'm not touching the damn thing. Like it might as well be a 1/6 statue in some cases, right? So that's why then you start looking into things and you're going, well, I mean, this is crazy. Like, she's in the perfect pose. Her light up situation goes through the base. The base to me is incredible because I don't like Hot Toys bases personally. I don't like the way they're just like very like that to me is the one thing I don't like about Hot Toys is the bases. And I've never really used them. But the statues it tells us a story with the character, right? It makes sense. It makes sense where they are.
Yeah.
But that's also why I don't like some of the premium formats, right?
Yeah.
Some of the premium formats from Sideshow I've seen are super boring because there's nothing going on.
Well, I was gonna say I don't know what happened with their latest Star Wars line. With the
like Han Solo and that kind of stuff, or
I mean, I'm not saying that they're bad. I'm just saying that I wouldn't get them. But I think they probably learned their lesson, and they're probably gonna. I mean, I think they're gonna go in a different route with future Star Wars pieces. I mean, some of the stuff that they're coming out with, like the Rancor. I mean, that is
Crazy.
fucking. Excuse me. Yeah. That is effing beautiful, man.
Don't worry, you can curse here. It's fine.
You can do whatever. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, that is beautiful.
Another thing about posing too. So Sideshow, of course, or any company is going to try to limit the cost, but customs do not. You know, these guys will just charge you a little bit more. Like that Nightcrawler I have coming has like 6 arms, 5 heads. It's nuts.
Well,
you know,
but the interesting thing with all those switch outs, I don't switch anything out though. I'm the same way with my statues. I put them in once and I pick the one that I like, and I'm done. I mean, I appreciate having the choice, but I never. Do you ever find yourself putting in different switch outs?
Nope.
No. Okay.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Would you rather, Tim? Would you rather? Now I know this. It's nice as you have the choice, right? You do have the choice, but would you rather have paid less money to not have all those switch outs if it was the perfect thing, or do you like having to be able to say, "This is what I want this to look like"? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do know what you're saying. So I would rather I when I pick a statue, I'm picking it because of one of the versions.
Okay. Yeah.
And I know right away that's the one I'm gonna display it with. I don't need all the other stuff. I would prefer to not have all the other stuff.
Yeah. It's like that custom rogue that was on Mr. X's show today. 6 heads to choose from.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean there is 2 styles of her hair, so then you say that, you know, you want, what expression do you want?
Yeah.
You know, smiley, screamy, enraged.
Right.
I get it.
And so what you got was 6 mediocre heads, well, paint jobs at least. And if it had been one that was painted really well, it probably would have been the better thing to do there.
Yeah.
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 I don't know. I mean, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, you know, I have Wolverine statues galore, and having an extra head has helped me modify other pieces.
Oh, really? Just put them in between the other ones?
Well, I have to modify the statue to fit it. But once I do that, I mean, it totally I saved a piece, in my opinion. Like a piece that I bought, after a while, I'm like, man, I can't believe I fucking bought this thing. The portrait on this thing was so bad. Then here comes a new Wolverine. I'm like, wait a second. Oh yeah, I'm modifying this. And now done.
That's cool.
This Rogue, I modified this Rogue with the new premium formats head. Save that piece. My first, I think she was my first premium format was Rogue.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's, you know.
Yeah, that is true though about the switch out stuff. Like Thor, you showed that picture last night of the Red Hood thing. That thing has so many switch outs. I couldn't believe it. Like it's got
those were most of those look great.
They do look really good. They do look really good.
Yeah.
But doesn't it have like an extra torso?
I think it did. Okay, that's 2 versions of that one. It was like a regular with 1 torso, and you just get and you just get some of the heads, and then that's what happens with customs. A lot of times they'll sell a couple versions, and a lot of times with the custom guy, like the guy that did Revan, who's out for repair right now, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He actually takes input because, you know, like I told you the other day, he's gonna be making a statue that, you know, I gave him an idea, and now he's gonna make it. So a lot of times they take input as to what do you want to see in the statue. The custom guys do. So that's like an advantage to get like the piece that you want to see, as far as switch outs and everything. And he actually inputted something that I would like, dang, that'd be cool, but I ain't gonna say nothing because it'd probably be more cost effective. And he came up with the idea, yeah, we're gonna light this up. I was like, oh really? And I was like, okay, so bro,
go on,
let's do it. So,
dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Are you excited that you're getting, like, you might possibly get the
I think it's gonna happen. That ever since I you know, it's from a video game, but ever since I played that game, I was like, this would be a killer statue, man. It's actually another character in the game I think would make a nice statue. I don't know if they would make that one, but that'd be cool. But as far as the Hot Toys thing go, for a long time, Hot Toys, I've told you this before, have had a lot of characters that I said I wish those were statues.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But I've seen people who do like amazing pose jobs and like create scenes and everything with them, and that's something you can't do with statues. But I think, if, in my opinion, if you put the best hot toy collection you've ever seen up against the best statue collection you ever seen, to me, it's no contest.
Yeah,
that's just my opinion, you know.
Yeah.
So
well, and everyone has their everyone's got their thing, right? Like
oh yeah.
And
I mean,
that's
I'm not condemning nobody for, you know, it's
no. Yeah, I find it very interesting. Is all.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, these are all collectibles. You know, they do a great job in trying to capture the likeness of the character or just the essence of the character. I think we just have to appreciate it in different ways. You know, I think just you know, the ignorance of, say, calling a hot toy, oh, it's a doll, is just okay. Well, to you it is, but to a lot of people, it's an artwork. You know,
exactly. Well, look at that mud trooper that you just reviewed. It's freaking beautiful. Like that thing is ridiculous.
Yeah, and
people
then
call my statues dolls.
Really?
Yeah.
Like my cousins would be like, "You still buying dolls, bro?"
Yeah.
I'm like, dolls? I could kill your family with one of these. I could fucking kill somebody in your family with one. Like, are you kidding me? Dolls.
Tim, what scale are those behind you on the shelf?
These are quarter.
Those are quarter.
Yeah.
Wow, you got a lot of quarter in one space. It's amazing.
Oh, you have to check out his
his spot's great.
His collection, and it's nice. Yeah, and like I said, and then vice versa with statues too. You know, some people are like, oh, like they're just there. You know, like I don't know. But at the end of the day, it's like whatever makes you happy. You know, like Tim's got a whole bunch of like 1/4, 1/6 scale stuff. You know, and same with a lot of us. So it's whatever makes you happy.
Scale stuff. Yeah, that I won't get rid of.
Well, you even have 1/10, right? Like the Iron Studio stuff.
And this has to be a part of the conversation as well. Price has to be a part of that conversation, right?
Of course.
Hot toys are more than likely going to be cheaper than a statue, right?
Yeah.
So, and again, the statue prices, especially the shipping prices, they keep going up and up and up. And it, honestly, Hot Toys prices seem to have been rising as well. They've kind of evened out a little bit now, it seems, but we've seen that in Hot Toys as well. So it's,
The only thing I'll say to that is, while I generally agree with that, for the cost of 2 Hot Toys, you can get yourself a Sideshow premium format.
Right.
It's doable. And sometimes when you buy a Hot Toy, you wait a year, and that Hot Toy is now worth $500-$600, right? Yeah. And then you can go and upgrade to a statue. Pretty much every statue I have right now is as a result of selling my Hot Toys.
Right.
So it's, while I agree, yes, it's hard to go out and do it. You can find ways. If you've been collecting for a long time, you start winding up having a certain amount of capital in your collection that you can then trade in to get higher end stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I've found.
Yeah. Well, it also doesn't happen overnight.
No.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, exactly. Like that's like a big thing. Like people come down to the room and they'll be like, holy shit, bro, what do you do? And I'm like, I'm a janitor. Like I'm literally like an everyday working dude. I didn't come from money. I don't have like a huge bankroll, but it took years and years, and I dedicated so much of my time and focus to get it.
Yeah.
And it's like for the first time seer, they say this fucking guy, but no, this is years of dedication. I've spent so much time saving money and focusing my money the right way towards getting this. And I mean, how foolish, I could have bought a Corvette.
Yeah, but at the same time, which I'm sure it's the same for all you guys, when I sit and look at these things, I freaking love it. Like this is
happy.
Yeah, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's
I spent 2 years collecting the entire vintage collection for Star Wars. That was 140 figures carded and 140 figures loose. Okay, so 300. But the way I did it is I would go and I would find somebody selling a lot of 30, 40 figures. I would go get that lot, keep 5 or 6 of them, and sell all the others for profit.
Yeah.
And I kept doing that over and over again. I mean, I had some figures, I probably had them 10 separate times. They would come into my hands. I would compare it to the one I had already. Which one do I like better? I keep that one. I sell the other. I kept doing that over and over and over again. And I wound up with a vintage collection that was worth about $10,000 when I was done. Okay. And then I looked at that and I said, okay, I'm done. And it was the thrill of building up that collection was kind of was lost for me. And then I wound up selling that entire collection and buying a whole bunch of Hot Toys. Right. But I bought the Hot Toys based upon this investment of time and energy that I had put in putting together that other collection. And then I got to the point where I was tired of the Hot Toys and I wound up buying statues with it. So the ultimate cost, I am not paying the full price for these statues. This is years now of energy and activity that I did early on that got me there. And I think you'll find a lot of people who have massive collections did something like that so that they could afford that massive collection. You know, it's not something you can just go out and buy.
And Steve, this is like the 5th unboxing of a statue or whatever. And people might think that I just bought all these. I did.
Right.
I sold. I did sell not a lot of Hot Toys, but I sold some of my Hot Toys, and they were ones that I was okay getting rid of, but they were also ones that like went up in price, right? Like it was a good time to sell them. And so that's the thing for me. Like, you know, you look at certain things and you're like, well, and I've taken that from, I think you, Steve, and where, you can upgrade to something different. And a statue might not be an upgrade for somebody else. I'm saying for me it is, but it's not for everybody. Right.
Yeah.
So, I just like the idea. I personally like the idea of having a group of people that appreciate
both.
Appreciate what everyone wants. Like it doesn't matter.
It shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter. It's your collection. It's what makes you happy.
Right.
An outside force telling you that collection is horrible is just an outside force. You know.
Right.
I mean, right now I'm talking to 3.5 Star Wars guys. You know what I mean?
3.5. What kind of shit is that?
Well, PJ's an X-Men guy.
Yeah.
You know, there's a common ground that I think all of us can meet on and have like a really nice
conversation.
We share something, and it's this whole thing, whatever it is. It doesn't matter if it's a Hot Toy, if it's a Star Wars thing, if it's a great thing. You know.
Yeah, and I'll watch reviews of X-Men statues, and they're incredible, right? Like, I find I find it it's art, right? It's all different types of art that people like. It's super interesting to watch, and I like it all, man. I like seeing all that stuff, and that said, most of us, maybe not all of us, I'm a Marvel fan. I like Marvel. Marvel.
I like Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly. It's just not the thing you want to put your time and effort in, and money.
Yeah, it's not the thing that defines me.
Exactly. Yeah. But you can appreciate it, and that's
I watched the movie a couple days ago.
Exactly. That's how I think most everyone. Hey, PJ, what percentage of what do you say your percentage of your collection is Star Wars to X-Men?
It's mostly Star Wars. Yeah, I would say 60-40.
God damn it! So I'm talking to 3 and 6.
Yeah,
PJ, we never see any of your X-Men stuff. When do you? I've never seen anything X-Men from you.
He's in the closet, sir.
Yeah, he's got some pieces.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of pieces. Actually, I was actually just thinking about it this morning. It's like how, like, you know, when I got Colossus in, I'm like, the team is forming up. Like, you know, I'm like, wow. And then Cyclops is coming next week. And I'm just like so happy that like I have something like that is like gonna be completed. Because the one thing about Star Wars too is like there's no team. There's no team in Star. It's just like a whole bunch of light side and dark side stuff, right?
Yeah.
There's like, but for X-Men, it's just the X-Men, right? I'm slowly getting there. I'm getting to the point where there's going to be a couple pieces that I might need to go the fan art or the custom route just to pick up if they don't make it.
Oh, really?
If they don't make it,
to
fill the gaps. Like I'm hoping that Sideshow makes a Beast and a Storm at some point. So stuff like that. But in the most part, I'm sorry.
Is needed.
Yeah.
And PJ, do you tend to lean towards? Would you lean towards if Sideshow and XM made a Beast?
Oh, without a doubt, I'm gonna Sideshow without a doubt.
Okay, you go for Sideshow.
Yeah, and the reason why is that they have like the best sculptors.
Okay,
they have the best sculptors. They have, the resources now. I think they learned their lesson in the past couple of years. And some of their pieces, man, if Tim broke it down to you, like with the sculpt and the anatomy, you would just appreciate it in a whole different level, man. So,
yeah, I just don't know the difference.
That's why when Steve was talking about those guys, I'm like, that's something I'd be interested in.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know the difference between like an XM, right? XM versus Sideshow versus Prime 1 versus like I know they have different scales of things and things like that, but like I don't know what people tend to gravitate towards in terms of
I mean I think
it changes, man. It changes. I mean, I love the cartoon look.
Yeah.
The old school Sideshow line is what's behind me, and I don't think I'll ever sell these pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I have all these pieces, my palette is changed, and now I crave the highest level of mastery in sculpture, in my opinion. And I start looking at different things that don't exist on some statues.
Yeah.
Body parts that are not sculpted appropriately or stuff like that. And I start noticing that, and I've become so fine-tuned at it that I can look at something and instantly just not like it or like it.
Yeah.
And it just happens that Sideshow just seems to always be the winner for me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's been a long road to get to like where I'm at. But it's like a guy who drinks wine and they fucking go, oh yeah, there's like a high-end body, and I'm like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? That's kind of what it's become to me, Right.
So this guy is Daniel Bell. He's one of the best sculptors out there.
Yeah. And
you could just truly, I mean, if you look at this just like head on, you're like, oh, that's Logan, that looks cool and stuff. But then as Tim would probably break it down better than I would. I mean, when you start looking at the anatomy and the sculpt of this beauty, you would just be totally amazed. Like, dude, like here's my opinion about this piece. The muscle tones and the musculature on the statue is freaking amazing, right? I don't know.
No, it's insane.
Well, I even think PJ, go back. I mean, look at the way I even think the way his leg is up on that stool is pretty remarkably accurate too. Just the way his whole legs are positioned on the ground
shows his flexibility.
Right, and the tilt to the bar stool. It's a little bit forward, so it's kind of giving it a forward motion as opposed to being flat. I mean, there's a lot to that.
The dog tag is magnetic to the shirt, so it makes it look like it's blowing. Like
right, exactly.
That's cool.
So there are subtle things in that sculpt that I agree. They are pretty impressive.
What would you guys say, other than sculpt wise, would you guys say is some advancements that have happened in statues?
Paint job,
engineering and paint job. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Just like by engineering, you mean like how the statue is like.
You would have never seen anything like this back in 20.
Never. Yeah. Never.
Yeah.
Let's look at this engineering right here. I mean, you would never see this like 2 or 3 years ago.
This is Sideshow?
Yeah. Where he's literally, it looks like he's jumping over a Surtur, right?
Yeah, why can't we get a star? I mean, why can't Star Wars be like this, man?
That's what I'm saying is that
it's right here, homie. I'm glad
yeah.
And Boba Fett, you got Boba Fett.
Yes, exactly. I agree. But I'm saying, I'm talking about Sideshow. Why Sideshow's premium format Star Wars are there so there,
it's
Well, we're getting there. Like I said, with the Mythos line, I mean, if you look at the Mythos line, those are amazing.
Yeah, but look at Chewbacca. Chewbacca looks like a giant piece of poop with hair on it. Like it's really bad. Like really bad. So what happened? Like, are they just not putting those like good sculptors on those pieces?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Oh, the Rogue is sold out already? Damn. But here's another piece like that's done by Sideshow. And I mean, just look at the
so PJ, when I saw this, I wanted to buy it when I first saw this come out. Even though I am not an X-Men person or anything like that. I saw this statue. I was so tempted to go get this. Yeah. Just because of how amazing it is.
Yeah. But look at
I'm living in a nightmare because I don't have it.
You not have it? You don't have this?
No, I'm living in a nightmare. Yeah.
So
No, I'm not even joking. Like it's one of my biggest regrets as a collector is that I don't have that piece.
How much is that going for now?
Oh, I have no idea, but
okay.
She's just right outside of like what my drive is. And I'm like, God damn it. It's like, you missed the exit for McDonald's already. Next one. Gone to I'm starving.
Next one is KFC.
Yeah.
So Matt, now that you have time to observe Shaak Ti, where does she rank in your collection, sir? What do you think?
Good question. It's hard. She's so different, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
That's tough. The lightsaber's crazy. Like
I told you. You can literally see the glow on her thigh from That's how bright it is.
Yeah. It's pretty nuts, man. I really like the sculpt of the face is absolutely crazy.
Amazing.
And I like the color. I love all the bandages and stuff. I think it's really, really killer.
Gives it a lot of character.
Yeah. And so I don't know. I mean, it's tough because those Mythos statues are so different. It's all super different. I'll say this. I'm starting to feel like I like that quarter scale size a lot. I do like that. It's really cool.
One thing I like about that piece is her tiger stripes are embossed on the body. So it's like, So it's not just paint. It is.
Yep.
It's like grooves that are embedded into the skin.
They're sculpted.
Yeah, they're sculpted in there.
Yeah.
Just like Talons is like that too.
But this is definitely better than Talon.
I think so.
I really like it.
And Steve, you said the exact same thing that I said. When you was like, I probably won't get Talon again. I said if I had to do it over again, I wouldn't pay that money that I paid to get Talon. I mean, because she's nice, but she's not worth that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, just to change the topic just a little bit, with Mythos Vader, it's already on its way back to the seller. But does your Mythos Vader look directly at the helmet, or does he look off?
It's a little off. It is a little.
Yeah. He's looking like just a little bit off here, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. It was annoying the hell out of me. I mean, I love that statue. I mean, I think that statue is great, but that fact that he's not looking at it directly was driving me nuts.
But
go ahead, Thor.
Oh no, the thing is, but when you look at it from if you look at it from how you can't even really tell. Like unless you're standing in front of it watching him do it.
Yeah.
His head off or his eyes off?
His whole head is turned.
Like he's like this and he's looking forward.
Yeah.
It's
because they probably couldn't have sculpted the turning motion. You know what I mean? Like, because the collarbone moves with it.
Sure, but I suppose they could have changed the angle of the arm a little bit. They could have moved the arm a little bit left or right to line it up with his eyes, with his head.
That piece actually, they had to do an adjustment because the power hand. When he does like this, some of them in the beginning came out where it was crossing the chest like that.
Yeah,
and so like the second batch, they came out where it was like that. You know,
I didn't know that. Okay.
So if some people have, I don't know, Matt, you like one day if you just say I had nothing to do, take out that fist and see if you got one that goes across the body or one that does like this. Yes.
Yeah, I'll say this though, Steve, the helmeted version with him holding the lightsaber still looks awesome as well. Like I've seen people display both of them. And
so I look at my collection now, and right now I have 3 Mythos, right?
Yeah.
Those Mythos are the best pieces in my collection, and I look around, and honestly, I don't see pieces that compare. As I look around that collection, and I say the last things I would sell would be those Mythos.
Yeah.
Wow. So they're not only the best, they're your favorite.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I mean,
there's a difference sometimes.
You're right. Right.
Yeah. Right. Like my favorite statue is not the best one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's a good.
I'll say this. My favorite. I think my favorite right now is probably XM Luke, only because it was probably the first one I got. But at the same time, I really like Luke, and I really like the Jedi side of things. And there's just not a whole lot of it. So I kind of want.
Oh my God! Now you know my.
Yeah, well, I kind of want to have that more of as a focus, like within Star Wars. I want to get the more Jedi.
So Matt, you know what you need to do?
They're coming.
I've been thinking about doing this on RS Prop Masters. The only light-side bust they have is Luke's. So you got to get the red 5 helmet with a red 5 bust and put that right next to the statue.
Oh, it'd be crazy.
And how freaking sick that! And then if you go and get the lightsaber too, throw the lightsaber in there.
The only problem is it's not the snowspeeder version, right? It's the.
Yes, it's true, but they're close. They're so close. Yeah. You know, it's so close.
You guys aren't into partial busts. You want full figure?
No.
You mean like scaled busts, like half scale or something like that?
No, like 1/6 scale bust.
To me, it's too small.
It's too small. Yeah, it's too small. I really like those half scales you have. That size to me, if they made half scale size of bust for Star Wars, that'd be
they have like the perfect name too, legendary scale. It's exactly what it is. Yeah. Like their headstone. If like here lies Wolverine, you know,
exactly.
it's to me they're perfect. You know.
Well, and you don't have to have as much room to display them, right? They're not crazy huge. I really like that.
You should check out the Gentle Giant busts then.
That's what I was just gonna suggest.
Yeah, I've seen them.
They're really nice.
They are. I haven't been
so many. There's so many.
I personally have not been very impressed with Gentle Giant when I actually see them. Like
okay.
When I've actually seen them close up, when I've gone to conventions, and then also just seeing them online, they look a little bit. I don't know. They don't look right to me.
You know, like another thing, we don't consider. Another thing we don't consider is like, you know, I know you guys want Star Wars pieces. It might be extremely difficult for a sideshow to get approval on stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm sure
it might be such a nightmare for them that they're just like, you know what, dude, don't even do it. We're already doing well in these other markets. You know, just make one piece a year. It might be difficult for them
just
to
because
get the thumbs up.
That's what the XM guys said when I talked to them in New York. They were like, it's really hard to get them to approve something. So
yeah.
Well, I was gonna say now with the whole this Order 69 happening, you know, with Disney losing a lot of money each month now, with you know, just in money in general because of this thing going on. Do you think they'll probably like be a little bit more lenient with their approvals of licensing, because they gotta sell stuff?
That could be a side effect of this,
because this, from what I heard, they're you know, they really want to have merchandise to sell, and that's why I was telling, I think Matt and Thor before in our Sithcast group, is that the last trilogy didn't really sell a lot of merch compared to the Mandalorian. You know, the Mandalorian is selling more stuff compared to all the 3 movies altogether.
Yeah, the Mandalorian's killer.
So that's why they're like really want to head in that directions.
You question though. So if what you're saying is true and they are possibly having a hard time, getting approval for things, I'm surprised that they're able to do the Mythos line still. Right? Because those
things might get easier approval then.
Right, but I just don't understand, right? That's not what the character actually looks like.
But maybe because of that, that's why it's approved, because it's so far off, right?
Yeah. But I don't know. I also thought that was the reason they stopped being able to do the Mythos line. Am I wrong, Thor?
Yeah, you're right. That was one of the first things that got shut down, and literally out of the blue, it just came out of the blue. We all thought Sideshow didn't have a license anymore, and everything. And one day, here comes the Side.
Well, I think you know what it is too, because Disney was shutting down like a lot of the expanded universe stuff that didn't really coincide with their storyline, right? It's lived 1,000 years. That is true. And I think now, with a whole bunch of stuff being approved by, like, in terms of shows like Rebels and what is that called? Clone Wars coming back. So that's probably a possibility that they brought the Mythos line back again,
Yeah.
What drives me crazy is these really great statues they'll have a hard time with. But you go into a freaking Walmart and you go walk down the toy aisle, and the crap, like Matchbox cars with heads on them, and just all sorts of shit that's in those aisles, right?
Yeah.
They don't toothbrushes and toilet holders and all this crap that they have out there. Yet something like this and these amazing statues that spend so much time on, they'll have trouble with. I don't understand them. I hear you.
That's a good point. But I feel like if I was the guy who developed the Shelby Mustang and Ford tried to remake it, I would be more of a stickler than if somebody just drew a picture of it. I'd be like, yeah, it's close enough. You know what I mean?
Right. But would you want
like Play-Doh model of it? You're like,
but would you want a Shelby toilet paper dispenser? Would you allow toilet paper dispensers, and would you allow your
if you're gonna pay me for it?
Well, then in that case, you should have no problem with anything, right?
But that you could be right, Tim, that the closer these things get to, right? The closer these things get to what the characters look like, the more it's like, well, we have to make sure that the actor actually makes
then the cost of the item is higher.
Yeah.
And the companies stands to make more money off of the product. So, there's so many things that I wish I knew. I wonder if Sideshow has the rights to the Star Wars license first crack every time. How long does that license last for? Do they have it in perpetuity? Like, can nobody else get it? Like, what was the wording like when they sat down with the Disney lawyers? There's got to be something, because I know that when Bowen Design started making statues, that he said on one of the chats that they'll dictate to him how many of each character he has to make.
Oh wow!
And if it's Wolverine, you got to make more because he's like a big seller. And then they get a kickback on certain characters. So there's stuff behind the scenes that
Yeah, that makes sense.
We'll never know. I wish I could know. I would love to know.
Well, Hot Toys does the same thing, right? We've talked about this. I feel like Steve before and PJ that there's gotta be, there's gotta be characters that they have to make, certain characters they have to make more of, and Iron Man. Look how many Iron Mans they come out with. It's crazy.
Look at Robert Downey Jr., right? He did the Jack Nicholson for Avengers.
Right.
He said, I don't want any money. I'll do the movie for free. I want the toys on the back end.
Yeah.
So he gets a portion of every toy that's got his likeness on it.
He doesn't actually. Robert Downey gets a part of the box office for Iron Man as well. I think he gets a very small percentage of the box office
for Iron Man or for Avengers.
Either one, right? I don't know exactly, but I heard that he doesn't get paid a salary for acting, but he gets part of the box office on that, a very small piece.
Whatever agreement he made got him $50 million for Iron Man 3.
Right? Yeah,
nuts.
Absolutely.
That's crazy. But I mean, he did Avengers for free. But I'll take the toys. Anything that has my face on it for forever, you know. And then there's sometimes where a figure will come out and you're like, man, the face looks kind of off. Her nose looks too big or too long. Well, they probably didn't get the license for that person's likeness. So they have to modify the face a little bit to not have to pay that person. There's stuff, man. There's so much shit that we just don't know that, man, I would love to be in the room.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Thor,
there's a question out there.
Who's going to go in that space behind you?
Oh, that's Revan is just out. You know, when I first got it, the cord was stuck inside the body, so the doctor's getting the cord out. That's all.
But you got a nihilist coming, don't you?
Yeah, nihilist is going underneath him.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just for the second I just put the mask right there. You know,
that's a cool mask.
That nihilist looks awesome, dude.
I can't wait. I'm really excited for that. But it's hard because it's taking 6 weeks to get in, you know.
So many Sith, it's crazy.
Yeah, and that's when it's finally complete. I think it's gonna be killer. I just want to light all the red sabers up together and just gaze upon the greatness of
let it shower upon you.
Oh yes,
I freaking love it, dude. I freaking love it.
Yeah.
Tim, did you get that ceiling thing to work?
No. I haven't been back down here since.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah,
How often do you go down there?
I used to come down here much more often, but you know, now that I got this little one, I'm spending much more time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Sharing the parenting duties.
That makes sense. How old's your kid?
She's like a year and a month.
Does she like any of this stuff? Like, obviously you can't. She doesn't know what it is, but
she comes downstairs and you know, like when you can see the clockwork in them.
Yeah.
She's like.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and she doesn't stop the whole time she's down here, and she just like waves to them, like she thinks. Yeah, but I can tell that she's like, "This is a cool room. This is interesting. Yeah. Something's happening down here." It's like, yeah, your daddy's so crazy.
Cool. Yeah, time to put the lock on the door.
Yeah, I have to get a fingerprint lock.
Oh hell yeah!
I was fortunate. I started collecting after my kids were big enough to know that they're not to touch anything.
Steve, do your kids like your collection?
Yeah, I guess. But they don't go down and like stare at it or anything like that.
Yeah.
You know, so one of my boys is really into Star Wars, and he's older though, so he's not too. My younger boy is into Star Trek and collects some Star Trek ships and whatnot. Yeah. Yeah.
I just knew my son.
That kid, it's funny. That kid watches the J.J. Abrams Star Trek. Those things are on all the time. He probably 100 times at least he's watched.
I like those movies.
Oh, I enjoyed them. I enjoyed them.
I enjoyed them too.
I did. But yeah,
so like hardcore Star Trek people don't like those movies, right?
You're right, but whatever, right?
I'll be very honest with you. I watched Avatar: The Last Airbender today, and I have no idea why people hate that movie. No clue. I watched
the live action one.
Yeah.
Hold on. Have you seen the cartoon?
I turned the cartoon on this morning to see if my daughter would like it. So we watched two episodes of it, and then she took a nap, and I said, "I wonder if I could watch the movie." And I'm like, the fucking movie's exactly like the cartoon. What the fuck don't people like about this? I don't get it. I just don't
to me, they changed a lot of stuff, like technical stuff in it that, I guess they couldn't pull it off in real life form or whatever. But it's just, to me, the cartoon is just so much better. Like, but you get more of the cartoon than you did in the movie.
Tim, my guess is this is probably like why you like some Wolverine statues and you hate others, right? You know Wolverine inside and out, so you can be super picky about about various Wolverine merchandise. Probably people are so familiar with Avatar and whatnot, and so for them they're super picky. But for people who aren't huge fans, it's like, oh, that's a cool Wolverine statue.
Yeah,
right.
Tim, that's why. I mean, there's people that feel the same way about like the sequels in Star Wars versus all the other ones, right?
I guess, yeah. I get it.
Be careful. Let's not have that conversation.
I know, we're not gonna have that conversation. But
I mean, I like all the Star Wars movies. I like them all.
I did too.
Yeah, but I don't.
Not everyone does.
I don't think I get offended by the stuff that I know it's wrong, but I don't think it offends me. I just go, it's just a bad decision. And then
Tim, do you like the X-Men movies that they've recently come out with? Like
even all of the problems in it, I still like them all. Yeah. So it's like I don't get it. I feel like I don't know. I think if I was that much of a fan of something, things wouldn't bother me as much. Like I still watch I watched Dark Phoenix days ago.
See, I haven't seen that. That's the one I haven't seen yet.
Yeah, and I mean, X-Men 3, I'll watch that all day. And I would go, oh man, this part's bullshit.
I don't know if I could. X-Men 1 and 2 I could watch. X-Men 3 is a little bit hard for me to swallow.
I guess I get it. I get the issues with it. I don't want to get into the
sure.
Yeah, well, I was
like,
gonna say
I take solace in the moments that are right, and I go, man, Angel jumps out of a freaking building and flies away in front of everybody, and I like that's what I like about it. It's like sure, there's problems, but like there's moments like that where I'm like, that's beautiful. Like that's exactly what I'm looking for. You know?
Well, see, here's my question: is that like once Marvel does their take on X-Men, like how are these movies going to sit after those movies are
still going to watch them, but I hope that they crush these movies.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying they will. I mean, they will crush these movies. But like, how's man. Like because it's one of those things. Also, like that's how I feel with Star Wars, right? Like, with
that's an interesting point.
With Lucas, like it was like accurate. It's even though some movies like Episode 2, a lot of people were disliked. I still liked them and took bits and pieces, like you did with Angel, and still enjoyed the movie. But
this is what I get for bringing up Star Trek. We're getting deeper and deeper into this conversation.
And then we're going to turn into Sithcast.
It's going to turn into Sithcast.
We'll just edit it, PJ. We'll just cut it and edit it into Sithcast.
Go. I didn't mean to cut you off, PJ. Go ahead.
No. I think that was it. That was the point I was just trying to make.
No, it's a great point.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I see that, like with the Star Trek stuff. Like I enjoyed those movies, like. And I know there was a lot of Trekkies that really didn't like the J.J. Abrams take on it, and I see their point, But to me, I enjoyed it, and
Yeah. I don't think this is gonna happen. They're going to make Hot Toys. Hot Toys will make the X-Men line. They're gonna go nuts with it.
Are they?
Oh, 100%. When they come out with it.
Yeah, when they come out with the
live action, they will make X-Men Hot Toys 100%.
Man, every time you say 100%, you remind me of some popular YouTube figure reviewer. There, Matt.
Oh, sorry.
You know who I'm talking about?
I think I probably No, but I do think they will. Don't you think? I mean, it's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, this is where Marvel makes a killing.
There's a possibility.
Dude, they're gonna look amazing.
When a Tim will be in heaven once, like they release all the X-Men movies. Are you kidding me? All the merch they're gonna come out with. Yeah, are you kidding me? I mean, they already have a lot of like X-Men merch, but now they will have tons more.
Thank God.
Do we know how they're gonna introduce them?
No.
From what I heard, the Eternals are gonna introduce them.
Oh, okay.
I
don't know. I mean, I'm hearing Storm will be in Black Panther and Scarlet Witch and Vision on their show are gonna, open that up, and then the Doctor Strange movie is gonna open doors to it, and Honestly, man, I almost feel like they should just like scrap everything and start all over again.
Tim, they haven't they have not screwed it up at all. The last 20 movies,
correct?
They've done a wonderful job, right?
Yeah.
So in Feige we trust. I think of all the characters he introduced.
Yeah.
And what he did, in all those movies, and not 100% perfect, but as damn perfect as any human being could get with that.
Yeah, so, and I know that they're gonna kill the action. I know that that's gonna happen. The X-Men to me have this very unique tone, and I just hope that they're able to slow the story down enough for them to hit that tone. Because they're not as much of a popcorn group as the Avengers are. The Avengers is a popcorn movie. Like you just sitting there and just watching them
kill.
Yeah, it took the 20 movies for us to care about the characters. I feel like the X-Men is a little bit more family type of thing, and that might need an intelligent storytelling. I think. I mean, who knows? Maybe they're just gonna say, forget what that guy wants. Let's just make Wolverine stab a bunch of people.
No, I think these guys are fans enough about the franchise that they know what the franchise is about and how to handle it the right way.
When Winter Soldier came out, I got lucky enough to get invited to like a very black tie premiere, and I got even more lucky to talk to the Russo brothers.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
very cool.
It was awesome. So a lot of times when you meet people that you kind of like idolize or you find remarkable, you
don't want to meet your heroes.
Dude, they were so freaking cool, and it was great to just nerd out with them a little bit. And I asked them this is Winter Soldier time, and they were like, we want to work on Wolverine, and I was like, dude, that immediately got me excited for whatever possibilities Disney can come up with.
Yeah.
To have those guys have their hands in it, I'd be more than happy to see what they do.
Well, I've never had this conversation with you or heard what you thought. What did you think of Logan?
Logan was a great film. Logan was a great film.
Deep sigh. Yeah.
Logan was a great film for the actor. It was a great film for him.
I
don't know that it was a great film for the character.
Okay.
But wouldn't you say, I mean, all that stuff is just going to go away, right? It's not like any of that stuff matters for what's coming for X-Men, right?
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to say, all that stuff that you guys know, that was a different dimension, and we're now in this one.
Yeah.
Where the X-Men have always existed, and we're like, okay, let's just go from here.
Okay.
I like that. Yeah, Wolverine was tall in this world.
Steve, is there any chance you will start collecting any other line? Anything else down the line here?
Lord of the Rings.
Oh, right. But you already do some of that though. I'm just talking about
No, I don't think so.
Hey Steve, can you speak in Elvish by any chance?
I was just gonna say, you're in my mind. I tried to learn it for a little bit.
I think that the Star Wars original trilogy and the Lord of the Rings trilogy are the two greatest trilogies ever made, and that's why I enjoy their stuff so much.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I can watch any of them all day, every day.
You're still getting that Sauron, right? The Prime one.
Yeah. Oh boy, I can't wait.
It comes with.
Wait a minute, Steve. You do know they had some Lord of the Rings premium formats that were pretty freaking sick too, right?
Yeah, a while ago. I think I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. I've looked at a lot of the existing Lord of the Rings stuff and generally been unimpressed.
Really?
Yeah, there's something about them I just can't quite. And maybe the price tag also helps with that.
That's a fact,
right? Because it's hard. I can't imagine going back and trying to get those. But when I mentioned this to Tim last time. When I can get into a line from the beginning, and it's the first one in the line, and I know there's going to be a whole bunch more. I prefer to do that than to have to go back and try to get all the old stuff, right? Yeah. So the Mythos is straightforward. There's 5 of them. I can go out and get those, right? No problem. But if with the existing Weta stuff and the existing Sideshow stuff, it is so impossible to go and get all those that when I saw the Sauron come out and it was the first one of the line, and how huge it is, and let me tell you, it's so big. I've already started preparing my wife for the arrival of this statue. I just little comments here and there about, oh wow, yeah, there's a statue. It's so huge. I'm probably going to get it. I just kind of meant just trying to get her used to the idea.
I had to do that with the Falcon cockpit. I had to do the same thing.
I was going to say, with the Sauron, it comes with a real life-size ring, right?
That is amazing. Yes.
Does it really?
And its own stand for the ring and everything. It's actually not a life. Well, it's bigger than human size. I believe it is Sauron size ring too. So that's what's just.
Wow. If Steve puts that on and starts like saying "My precious," then we know we have a problem.
I was watching something where people were talking about the Sauron statue, and they were like, "Well, he's just looking at his hand. It doesn't look right." And I'm thinking to myself, he's looking at the ring. Like, you're missing the whole point of this thing. He's looking at the
one ring to rule them all.
Perfect. It's perfect. Dude, that thing's awesome.
Rob's like, it'll make a great hat rack. Oh, it's certainly tall enough to be, right?
It probably is.
That thing is, I can't wait. That thing is so huge. Do
you know when it comes out? Do you know when it's supposed to?
Yeah, it's the end. Isn't it the end of the year? I think is. Let me see. I have. Let me consult my April through June of 2000. Sorry, April through June of 2021.
Okay. Let's let me just pull this bad boy up on.
Hey Thor.
Yeah.
How long do these lightsabers last?
Do
you know? Like how long?
Mine was used. I've had it for a year and it's still going strong.
Okay.
So I mean, okay. I had what do you call it? I had talons redone. It worked, but it was the old technology, so it didn't look too good.
Actually, Matt, it lasts about an hour and you're just about up. So you better shut that bad boy off.
Exactly.
But if it does go out, we can point you to the doctor who can fix it. So.
Yeah, okay.
He's looking at the ring.
He's looking at the ring.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that thing is huge.
Dude, is that a sculpted cape? Is that a sculpted cape?
No, I don't.
It might be.
I'm trying to remember.
Oh my gosh, this thing is huge.
It's so big. It's so big.
Oh wow, that's sick. Steve.
How could you say no to this? And
I can, but I hear you. I hear you.
I can too.
For me, and the being first in the line is so exciting for me because
that's
now
really
there'll
cool.
be more, and I'll be able to have them all matching, and they'll all go well. Yeah, so.
Yeah, and then I can't believe you can actually get a ring, an actual 5.3 centimeter die-cast ring. Wow.
That's
awesome.
2 inches, 5.3 centimeters. That's a big ass ring. It's bigger than you can wear.
Yeah,
because it's meant to fit Sauron.
Jeez.
Or something else. You can just pop that thing off. And...
You could put it. Wow.
You know what I'm talking about, PJ?
Yeah. Yeah.
It wouldn't fit.
One ring to rule them all. One ring to rule them all.
Wow, Steve. That's not where you're supposed to put it.
Well, I think on that note.
Yeah, exactly. Guys, thank you for coming and hanging out with us. Obviously,
the longest unboxing in the history of unboxing.
Yeah, the unboxings go pretty long for us. So I appreciate you guys hanging out. Thor, thank you. Tim, thank you. PJ,
anytime.
Definitely, man. Anytime.
Appreciate you coming on late, as always. And Steve, appreciate you too, man.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, it's expected. All right, we're gonna end this thing.
All right.
Peace
Good night,
out.
everybody.